Okay, I gotta adjust my in-game volume for Rivals. It's so low. Because I was playing, yeah. Hello, YouTube, is your filing on in? Sup? Okay. Why do I close my Discord ready to go and I see I don't like Flats, but he makes good content? That is very strange, but you know what? As long as you watch some ads, I don't give a fuck. Shit. Shit, I need to go grab my wallet really quick. I need to pay something really quick before I start stream. 1 sec. Ah! Gotta make sure the lights stay on. No, I'm just kidding. That's not what it's for, but... Alright. Alright, chat, I'm here. What's up? Hello, hello. What's going on? What's up, Alpha
Hello,
Foxies?
hello. Chat is looking very beautiful today also. That's almost a year.
Thank you for the 12 months. I appreciate it. Hello, hello. Like a bundle. How long do I need until finish this? Dun, 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 dun. When does this expire, chat? You guys know? Oh, it's permanent? Hell yeah. That's awesome.
So
Really?
if I have premium and don't watch ads, how do you make money? Or does it work by watching time?
Premium
Also,
has its
just
own
curious.
tier. So it'll say like premium ad rev. So like instead of watching an ad and getting like the 2 cents that it would give me from watching an ad. It'll just give me 2 cents and say, oh, this is from YouTube Premium. Pretty much how that works. I don't know how the ratio works. I don't know if it's like one is better than the other, but how it is. What's going on though? How are you guys? What have you guys been up to? Anything fun today? Anything fun this week? Tomorrow we got a new rival season, and then what do we got? New rival season, and then a couple days or next week new Overwatch season. We got a lot of good stuff coming up.
Not today.
Watching it at work, fair. Honestly, fair.
5 months. Became a tank main thanks to your content.
Thanks, Gone for Milk. Appreciate the 5 months. Wish you came back. Birthday dinner next week. Yo, Hog. Wait, same. Wait, mine's in 6 days. Wait, I forgot. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Huh. Also.
Incoming.
Also. Just want to let you guys know. Chat, you should potentially do command gamersupps and click on the link and see what happens.
Not today.
6 days.
Not so fast.
Double kill.
Does it buy the house? I don't know. It depends. I guess it depends on how well it does. How much you guys like it.
Here they come. Come back here.
Awkward raid? That's
down.
what's going on. Any of the raid? Yeah, if you do it, what do you see? Do you see the cup? Any of the raid? Appreciate it. It's blurred out. That's the point. It's supposed to be blurred out.
Stick around.
If you're just joining us, I was just making a little announcement. I was making a little announcement of something. So the timing there is a little interesting. A shirt and a mouse pad. Well, it's the cup, and then there's also a shirt and the mouse pad as well. But actually, hang on. Did they actually show all of those? Hang on, I haven't even looked myself. I just know it exists. Hold up, let me look.
Here they come.
Oh, they don't show you anything. Oh, I see. Wait, they actually show you way more than I thought they were gonna show. Wait, I didn't even realize. That's funny as shit.
Hollow flats.
Huh. Yeah, you do see stupid on it. I guess that's funny. I thought the whole thing was gonna get blurred out, but it's only part of it. That's funny. Yeah, the blur is pretty scuffed. I don't know if they did it on purpose. I just got a message today about it. But yeah, I've never done like merch. I've never done anything like that before. But gamersupps wanted to do it, and I was like, fuck it, we're already doing this other thing. Sure, why not? But yeah, so I already have copies of all of it, so I know what it looks like. Actually, that's not true. I don't technically have a copy of the cup.
Incoming.
And there's a reason for that. Ah, fuck it. I'll tell you now. Hang on. Does it actually say? Yeah, it does. Okay, it does say. Alright, so the reason why this took so long, the reason why I, quote, teased it to you, like 6 months ago, is because we did something a little different. If you've ever heard my take on merch and all that kind of stuff, is I'm very fucking picky, and I don't like I don't like slapping. I don't want to do one of those things, right, where they contact you and they're like, oh, we'll make merch for you, and it's just like iron-ons and fucking like shit, like they're shit products, right? Like I don't want to do that. So when I did the gamersupps cup, if you've never done like one of those like G Fuel gamersupps type cups, they're like little plastic things, right? What do I use every day?
Here they come.
And I thought to myself, I'm like, well, I don't like using little plastic things, you know? That's like, I feel like they're kind of, there's nothing against it, but it's just not for me. So I wanted something that was a little bit more sturdy. A little bit more sturdy. So they did actually do another cup for me, but I wanted a metal one. And so I think I'm actually one of the first people to get a metal cup with them. And yeah, I haven't personally got my hands on the final copy yet, because unfortunately we got to go back to the drawing board like twice because I wanted to change some stuff and I also wanted to make it metal. So I feel bad making you guys wait so long and making them wait so long. So I kind of just trusting it now. But yeah, it looks good.
Incoming.
It's made out of straight steel and it's 40 pounds out of the box. Yep, pretty much. Pretty much. Why is it blurred? Because it's not out yet. It's not out till the 16th. I think it unlocks on my birthday on the 16th. I work for an apparel company. If you're interested in running a limited time store, I feel like that's something you email me about. Because like, you know,
One down.
that's something I want to look into like off stream. That's not like a non-stream conversation, I don't think. Just be too tough. But I've been very picky though in the past, to the point where like I've had conversations with companies and stuff like that, and like nothing against them. I've just been like, eh. You know. I actually wouldn't use that one, Java. They probably won't forward it to me. They might actually. If you say specifically that you told me on stream, and you told me to email you, they might forward it to me because I don't. That one's my agency email. They run all of that. Dude, have I ever told you the horror stories of what they told me? Of like people sending some insane shit to that email? I've never seen any of it. They're just like, yeah, you probably just don't want to know. And I'm like, okay.
That's 3.
But yeah, like it's just the amount of people who send replay codes and then email every single day being like, hello, when are you gonna answer me? Watch my VOD is apparently unheard of. It's unheard of. Like, it's actually to the point where, like, they're like, what the actual fuck is wrong with some of these people? It's because you called Penny noob bait? It is noob bait. We'll deal with it. Zelda Historian, thank you for the 5 gifted. Appreciate it, dude. Thank you, buddy. Chavy gets something, you should say thank you. But Flash, you offer free coaching, right? Kill me, literally. Take me out back, and that's it. Put me down. I don't want to be here anymore. Oh, man. Dude, back when I used to be a small streamer, and I had my Discord DM still open, oh boy, there was some horrible nights. What's up, Dragon Ranger?
Hope you are having a good day.
I appreciate the 26 months. No, what's up, Chris? Thanks, dude. Did I miss the devlog reading? No, you didn't. You're just in time. And block email addresses? I've never looked into that. Yeah, my agency runs all that. So they deal with it. It's not my headache. Would you give coaching if they were from Boston? I wouldn't give coaching if they were my fucking brother.
Here they come.
Why? Because I fucking hate doing it. And no. And if it was my brother, they would know that I hate doing it. You know what I mean? My biggest issue with streamers branding is that they don't have larger size, like XL is not larger size. Oh! Actually true. That was actually always one of my big things too. With gamersupps, I couldn't really go too much deeper into that. But I'm not really considering the gamersupps one like a super incredible like merch line. It's more of just like an additional. Like the cup is the big thing for me. But I actually did have a deal one time where I was gonna do a brand deal with a company, and they didn't have like anything above like XL, and I was like, you know what? No, I'm good. I don't want to do that.
Double KO. That's 3.
Not today.
That's a good point. That has actually happened and come up before.
4 in a row.
Mothra, I think, in the prime. Would you get a coach if it got rid of all the penny players? No, only if they all got shot at the moon. I don't even want them to shoot at the sun. I want them to get stuck there.
Here they come.
Yeah. Let's get stuck there. Stuck on the moon. Can't leave. Yep. Angus Appas. Wait, that's a good name. Mew Monster, thank you for the 23 months as well. Appreciate it, dude. Not the penny hate. I've just said, you know what? If everyone's gonna say that I hate penny and I hate penny players and use such dramatic wording, I'm just gonna lead it. I'm gonna lead into it. I will show you hate.
Got one.
You shall know what true hate is.
Double KO.
I'll show you what it looks like.
Hey lads, you should ask
Fuck you.
about
Get shot at the moon.
the gamersupps
Fall off the map,
trading
IRL, into the Minecraft pit of doom, where the lava will then pop up and eat you with the wither skeletons. Yeah, now what? Now it's like,
Stick around.
what are you fall into the moon, into the sun, into a lava pit, into a wither skeleton. Yeah,
That's 3.
yeah, there it is. Get rolled. D:. That's too far. What part was too far? The lava, the wither skeleton, falling off the map, or getting shot at the moon? Oh, our TTS? Oh, the TTS actually did get rolled. Oh, thank you for 300 bits. Did I ask about being part of the gamersupps trading card game? Wait, they actually sent me a
One day
box. I have like a
wars
million of
you
them in my
become
living
so
room.
Toxic. SMH, not my streamer capper.
I have like a whole box of them sitting in my living room. Like literally like 1,000, probably more. It's probably like 4,000 fucking cards. I just forgot to open them.
Target neutralized.
Dude, my poor living room has just become a storage room at this point. I'd argue not fallen far enough.
Not so fast.
I agree. I'm with you. Unboxing time?
Here they come.
I don't know which box it is in at this point. There's a lot of boxes out there. There's a lot of boxes out there.
That's 3.
I always feel like I could be hitting harder and more efficiently. Yeah, I think I need to step my game up. I don't think I've been hitting hard enough.
5.
I can do better.
6 in a row.
I can do much better.
Go.
3 down.
As a Vanguard Pennymane, thank you for not actively hating the character. Yeah, I got you.
Not today.
I legitimately just think it's funny at this point, because it's like, if anything, it just, all it does is just makes me learn that it's like, people will use extreme language, even if the extreme language doesn't actually apply. It'll just be relative. It's almost like,
Wow, 4 in a row.
it's almost like the equivalent of telling someone to have a thesaurus, you know? It's like if you're only, instead of like your only vocabulary being good or bad, it's like
Not so fast.
6 in a row.
amazing or
Go.
hateful, you know? It's like you just kick them to the extremes a little further. Sup, Soup?
I am working on a piece of merch that will be flying off the shelves. But you'll need to do another PO unboxing stream.
fuck.
And we know how that's turned out in the past.
Oh, oh, Jesus. Okay, so, the P.O. Box still exists. I took it away because I don't want to do it anymore, and I planned on shutting it down, but then it accidentally kicked in and paid for 6 months automatically on my card, so I was like, fuck, I guess I still have it. And I actually got an email from them today being like, hello, you have a bunch of packages, can you come pick these up? They've been sitting here since December.
Nothing personal.
And I forgot to go today. So I'm gonna have to do that soon. I don't know when, though. Probably should have done that today.
Incoming.
Shit.
Hey Flats, I hope her doing well, man. Love you and her streams smile.
He's 11 months, Mojo. Alright, we should do that. You know, I rushed home because the dev blog. I should at least do the damn dev blog then. Thanks to the super chat. It sounds like they were just doing flank Jeff. Much to see there. All right, you know what? I forgot to go pick up my packages and I rushed home because I saw that they had dropped this director's take. So we might as well do it now. All right, I forgot my packages, but it's fine. Let's just do it. Chat, as of like an hour ago, dropped this director's take season 16 on the horizon. I think this is an Aaron Keller. No, it's an Alec Dawson. So these get dropped every couple weeks or every few weeks. Basically, you know, talking about state of the games, talking about what they're working on, what they want to work on, whatever it might be. So these are always cool. This one's from Alec Dawson, who's not the game director, but oh god, what is he technically now? He used to be the hero lead. He used to be like the lead game. Is he lead gameplay designer now? He actually might be I think he got a promotion. I forget what his title is now. He's like one step above that or something. Anyways, everyone, this is Alec Dawson, associate. Fucking hell, it's right there. Associate game director for Overwatch 2. All I had to do was read the first fucking sentence. This happens way too often. It happens way, way, way too often. You know that? I try to give context on something and then it appears. Like, how did I know that was supposed to be there? With a look at some of the many great changes coming in Season 16, the team has been working hard to perfect new additions like the perk system and our next hero, Freja, while balancing classic favorites like 6v6 competitive open queue. Tons of information about our new game mode, Stadium, and we'll be heading your way this week. Ooh, Stadium news. Hope you are all excited as I am, so let's dive in. Yeah, Stadium is what I've been looking forward to more than anything. I think Stadium will be really, really cool. All right, perk perfection. The introduction of perks last season added a new layer of gameplay and strategy to Overwatch 2, and players are still brainstorming their best choices of their favorite heroes and personal playstyles. The previous director's take recapped our AMA about perks. Thanks for all the great questions. And many perks have turned up in the mid-season balance patch. Were tuned up in the mid-season balance patch. Players have given us great feedback, and the team is continuing to refine the perk system. Certain perks are big hits, like Honest Strike, more popularly Holy fucking shit, I just lost the ability to speak. That was crazy. Known as Double Nano. And Bastion's Lindholm Explosive, which gives explosive shells. These are impactful and transformative perks that enable meaningful change in your gameplay. Making sure perks for every hero tick those boxes is a big priority for us, and we're confident changes in Season 16 and beyond are pointing us in the right direction. Okay. So it sounds like they want to add more perks like those. I would think like more boring type perks, maybe like Genji's perks, or maybe, what's another example of kind of a boring perk, like the Hog Toss, or what else would you say is kind of boring, chat? I need some help here. Other boring ones. 15 more ammo. I like the 15 more ammo. The Junkrat traps. Yeah, the Junkrat ones, the Widow Mines. Winston, maybe? I like the right-click one. The right-click one's actually really nice. The worst one's the ones with drawbacks. Oh, Sombra's perks, potentially. Yeah. Okay, let's continue. One of our biggest philosophies when designing and improving perks is the idea that there's never a wrong choice. You should never feel like you're picking a perk is a universally poor option. Maps, team compositions, enemy heroes, and personal playstyles should all influence your decisions, but one perk shouldn't be the default go-to in every situation. Interesting, okay. How exactly do we make sure we are hitting these goals? We look at a combination of what we're seeing in the data, like pick rate gaps and the amount of influence perks have in moment-to-moment gameplay. If we feel a hero has a less impactful perk set overall, we also wanted to offer them new options. There's also consistent iteration going on behind the scenes to dream up bigger and better perks for future seasons. I like the idea of that. I like the idea of that a lot. A good example for Season 16 is Sombra's updated perk kit. Stack Overflow, while impactful, doubled down on things Sombra was already good at rather than bringing transformative gameplay. It'll be replaced with a new major perk, Viral Replication, which allows her virus to spread to nearby enemies and will enable bolder team dives. Whoa. That sounds cool. Wait, that sounds super cool. I like that. COVID perk? Moving on. Mercy's previous minor perk, Angelic Recovery, felt passive, so we wanted to add something more active that brings strategy into the mix. Enter Angelic Resurrection, which gives 100 overhealth upon casting Resurrect. Players will have to judge if the risk of saving a teammate or behind enemy lines is worth the reward of enhanced survivability. Wait, what is the other minor perk? Is that the one that like you go further? Or you can like... Or like you can like... It's increased GA range? Wow. Holy shit. That's a big change. That's actually such a big buff. Our newest support, Juno, will receive a new major perk that enables a more aggressive playstyle. Locked On gives a lower cooldown for pulsar torpedoes for every enemy hit, encouraging more active gameplay. While Reboots performed better after a recent adjustment, it'll replace the less picked Hyper Boost as a minor perk. Wait, what? So they're giving her a new one called Locked On? And then moving Reboots to a minor perk? Am I reading that correctly? Huh. Interesting. Okay. While we try not to nerf perks too often, some options are clearly need tuning heading into Season 16. Sorry, Triple Blink Tracer fans. We think there's a good bar for the perks impact perks can have, but some may have gone a bit past that line and need to be dialed back. Players have also responded well to perks that bring back old components of a hero's kit, like Orissa's Protective Barrier and Hanzo's Scatter Arrow. We can't give away all the changes here, but another classic will be introduced in a different, less overwhelming way, a major perk for a certain icy DPS hero. Uh-oh. May Freeze coming back? Uh-oh. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm so scared. You know what, though? The less I've played Overwatch recently, while playing more Rivals and Overwatch and doing Variety, because like I've been playing Variety for like the last year and a half. But now with Rivals and Overwatch stuff, I've just been doing less Overwatch, less Rivals, or less Variety overall, just because they're all getting more balanced out. Is it bad I just don't care about shit like this anymore? Like, yeah, it's probably going to be kind of spooky, but like it changes the way characters are played, and I feel like it'll be fun for at least a few months or a few weeks or a few hours, and it's like, at that point, I'm like, you know what? I had a good day. I had a good week. Yeah, does it suck after like 2 or 3 weeks? Yeah, but like you could fix it. Just like change it later. You know? I'd rather just see new shit. I'd rather just try new shit. You know what I mean? Like instead of just... Fuck, am I a casual now? Oh my god. I might be a casual. On the Wind with Freya. A few weeks ago, Freya swooped in for her hero trial. Her sky-high skill ceiling and swift movement abilities ended up being a big hit with our players. Her trial numbers were comparable to Venture's popular test weekend. Okay. If she hasn't wrapped you in her bola shot just yet, you'll have a chance to dive in once Season 16 launches. Though we don't balance around quick play data, it gives us valuable information about new heroes during their trials. Freya was a bit lower on the win rate side throughout her test weekend at approximately 43%, and were receiving a few light buffs before her debut. Not surprised. She was pretty difficult to play, but like if you're really good at hitting your shots, really good with the movement, really good with the cooldown usage, she was good. But for especially a hero that people have only had for a couple hours on a weekend, you know, that's going to be, you're not only going to be able to get so good. The people who are going to actually be good at it are just like the crazy cracked out, like, you know, your GM master top 500 players with like good aim. Everybody else would probably be struggling a little bit just because like you don't have as much hours and not as much like mechanics behind it, especially a character like this. So probably a good idea, but wouldn't be surprised if they dial it back quick. Despite her explosive damage, Freya occasionally struggled to secure kills. So we've improved the reliability of her kit to finish the job. Her Rev Draw crossbow will now shoot 12 shots before max spread, increasing from its original 8. Wait, what? So now it doesn't have spread then, because it only has 12 shots, right? Bola shot's damage over time is now increased, as well as its max radius, giving her more oomph. Good idea. The ult was a little interesting sometimes. You'll also see some quality of life changes, like the option to bind her quick dash to a double jump input. Oh, I like that. Overall, we want Freya to be in a more comfortable place on launch, knowing players will get better with her kit over time, and we're really happy with where she's at now. Can I just say really quick? Stuff like this really shows, like, okay, I need you to shut the fuck up for like 2 seconds, all right? Just don't say a fucking word until it's over. One of the things that's pissed me off about Overwatch for years is just seeing the constant layover, and every time I felt like we were getting close to like, holy shit, we kind of have people that know what they're doing. There's like a big layoff, bunch of people leave, bunch of people get fired, whatever fucking happens, right? The hero design people, the hero balance design team has now been basically the same team since launch or close to launch. I think it's like technically around March of 2023. And now here we are, like 2.5, 3 years later. And this is something we would have had to request before, is like quality of life stuff. It's already being implemented before the character even comes out. And I feel like that shows experience. It shows like you don't have to bitch and complain and be like about the stuff you just think is second nature. Like, why the hell don't we have that? It's like, it's going to be there from now on. And you could sit there and say, well, it should have always been like that. And maybe in some levels you're actually correct. But you got to remember, it's not always been the same group of people that have been working on this game. And the people that are working on this game now are different than the people that made Overwatch 2. And the people who made Overwatch 2 are different than the people who made Overwatch 1. It's just the truth. Just the truth. Okay, you can speak again. 6v6 thriving. Whoa. The hottest topic over the past few months has been the return of the 6v6 game modes, and it's clear that many of you are passionate about the option to dive in with a bonus player. Good news for 6v6 enthusiasts. We'll be continuing to run open queue with a 2-tank limit in both quick play and competitive throughout Season 16. That is probably the best option they could have chose right now. Good decision. Competitive 6v6 open queue was the third most popular mode in Overwatch 2 during Season 15, according to time played. Third, and it was until it was usurped by Totally Normal Watch's April Fool's mode. Wait, what? So, wait, what was number 2 then? Oh, it's probably ranked 5v5. No, sorry, quick play 5v5, ranked 5v5, and then competitive 6v6. That's what it probably was. Googly eyes may reign supreme, but 6v6 modes are holding their own, as are the standard 5v5 modes. On average, there's a 3-to-1 ratio of players choosing competitive 5v5 over competitive 6v6, respectively, but the 6v6 population has remained steady. Let me finish reading this, and I want to talk about that after. We were curious about how the 2-tank limit would pan out, but most games landed on the classic 2-tank, 2 DPS, and 2 support setup. Tank players in 6v6 clearly enjoy having another tank buddy in their corner, and no matter which role they choose, players are loving shorter queue times and the ability to swap roles within a match. There's also a heightened sense of chaos that some people just can't get enough of. Queue times across the game have remained healthy, and the data from Season 16 should give us a better sense of how 5v5 role queue and 6v6 open queue can coexist in the long term. Stay tuned for more information over the next few weeks as we gear up for Season 16 and see you on the servers. All right, I want to talk about the 66 stuff really quick. I've actually gotten a unique perspective as someone who played it a ton back in Overwatch 1. Played it a ton when it came out at the start of this of mid-season 6v6, like when the mode came out, and then backed away because I was busy. Holy shit! I don't know if you can hear the lawnmowers and stuff outside. I had some rival stuff I had to do. I had a tournament I had to get prepared for, and then I also started playing some like hardcore Minecraft, other stuff. Regardless, though, I want to tell you as an outsider something I've noticed. I noticed after the first like 2 weeks, even the most die-hard of like either the streamers or players or people who like even online were talking about playing 6v6, over time, slowly gradually went back to 5v5. And every time I was clicking through people's streams, I was seeing them back in 5v5 again. And I was like, why is that? And I think 6v6 is a more difficult, more fun, more chaotic, insanely good game mode. However, the 5v5 is more comfortable. It's easier to approach. And also, the structure that it brings is comforting for many gamers. And that you know when you click that button, you're going to queue up and you're going to play a certain thing. And you know that every game you're going to have structure. You're going to be playing against one tank, 2 TPS, 2 supports. You don't have to worry about filling every single game. You don't have to worry about the chaos of like, am I going to play this game and I'm only going to have 1 support? Am I only going to have 1 DPS? That doesn't really happen, but you know what I'm saying. Or I'm only going to have 1 tank, or we're going to have no tanks. People like the structure. So, I don't know. 6v6 doesn't have role queue, 5v5 does. Well, let me give you a small news flash from my POV. 6v6 is not possible in this game with role queue. The queue times would be so unbearably long, because like even if we talked about the same, like throw it back to a year ago when everyone's arguing about 5v5, 6v6, why 5v5 is better, right? One of the biggest arguments, myself included, for why 5v5 is better than 6v6 was queue times. That is not changed. That is still absolutely true. If you turn into 6v6 tomorrow, the queue times would be so long. You know what's great about the 6v6 queue times right now? They're almost instant. They're very quick. That's what people like. They want to get into a game. They want to hop into the next game. They want to play. But there's a gap, right? 5v5 has queue times that are a little, like about the same, if not a little bit longer than non-roll queue, but they're not too long. So people are willing to put up with it for the structure. 6v6 will have such long queue times for roles like DPS or even support that they will not put up with the times for it. So you have 2 options. You have 6v6 open queue, or you have 5v5 roll queue. And a lot of people want 6v6 roll queue, and I don't even know if it's possible. Right? Like, I don't even know if it's even possible. At all. Granted, we could do a 6v6 roll queue test. But I think the queue times is going to be the big one. I do think it is very interesting, though, that the queue times for 6v6, on average, were probably about the same, if not lower, than for 5v5. And I saw most other of the streamers that were still playing, and even people who talked about it online, like Twitter, Reddit, whatever, slowly going back to 5v5 as the test went on. It's very interesting. Weird, but that's the truth. Hey, listen, I had a fuck ton of fun in 6v6. I would love to see that become the norm. But it's looking more and more like what the path we're gonna end up taking is that at least for a while, we will have them in tandem. We'll have 5v5 over here, we'll have 6v6 over here, we'll have open queue, we'll have roll queue, and you'll balance each of them differently. How long is that sustainable long term? Who knows? One, I think, will end up becoming on top, will win out in the end, but at least for now, enjoy the show. It's also an unpolished mode and doesn't feel like the real game right now because it's a test mode. I don't agree with that. What can you explain to me? Can you articulate like what parts do you think are unpolished and don't feel real? Are you talking about like some small balance tweaks, maybe? Well, what parts of the 6v6 don't feel right? Because I don't agree. The MMR, Zen Ana. You guys are gonna complain about Zen? Welcome to my world. Now you understand where the years of Zen talking about where it came from. Haha. Oh, welcome. Hey, no offense to the new gens. Welcome to the fucking show. Hey, welcome into the community. All right, I won't push you away, but I will side eye you a little bit on the way in. Come on, hurry up. Get in here. MMR is a good one I could give you. MMR maybe I could give you for sure. I could agree with that. Sometimes the games were a little wonky. Sure. Absolutely. I don't think it's because it's a test mode though. The balance was thrown together too quickly. New game modes are designed. Nah, I don't think the balance was that bad. I don't get me wrong. It's not as perfect and refined as 5v5 balance is at the moment. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that was a good take for the previous, like the first time they tried stuff, like back last year when they were first like trying Kingmaker and stuff like that. A lot of the balance was really bad. But I don't think the balance for 6v6 is horrendous. Like it's not perfect, but I don't think it's enough to destroy the game mode. Like and turn people off from playing it. We played double shield for years. You know what I mean? I think the bar is a little lower. Yo, by the way, Doom Radar, thank you, big 5 gifted. Appreciate you, thank you. Much love, dude. But oh yeah, there you go. That went on a little longer than I expected. There you go. There's your Overwatch, season 16 6v6 dev vlog. Cool. And my Discord died. Lovely. Right as I wanted to go look for codes. Kakashi, thank you, 5 gifted. Appreciate it. Wait, why am I loading up rivals? I can do TikToks. Let's do TikToks. I need my Discord back though. Hello? Is Discord dead for anyone else? Oh, so everyone's just died? Well, that sucks. Oh, you gotta be fucking me. Why did... I don't know what it is. My Discord just all of a sudden refuses to be like a small box like I normally keep it. It just always launches full screen now. Pisses me off. All right, what do you guys want to do for a little bit? Kakashi, thank you for 5 gifted. I don't know. Did I say thank you for your 5 gifted? Thank you for 5 gifted again. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I did task manager. It's still dead. All right, what do you guys want to do for 5 minutes while we wait for Discord to come back? Because I got nothing else. You interested in any marathon stuff coming out in the near future? I am. Is it fine to talk about? I saw clips of people talking about it, so I'm sure it's fine. They actually invited me out to go try the game a couple months ago. I declined because I didn't want to travel. But yeah, they actually sent me a package in like this week. I have a package sitting in my living room. I haven't opened it yet though. I don't know if I'm supposed to open it or allowed to open it. I don't know if I'm allowed to open it on stream, but it's in there. It's out there. Yeah. April Fool's tier list? No. Have you tried Path of Exiles 2? No. I did see Elon get fucking destroyed though. That was funny as shit. That made my whole day. RFS? Well, I can't even do RFS because I don't know where I left off from. I'd have to check where my Discord notes are for that, and my Discord's dead. In the tutorial, yeah. Top level player destroyed in tutorial. Feels weird, man. It's like losing in the practice range. Imagine if I hopped into the Overwatch tutorial and lost. Be like, what the fuck? Watch your Elden Ring playthrough and loved it. I'd love to watch Monster Hunter Wild. First off, appreciate it. Glad you enjoyed Elden Ring. Second off, that will never happen. I'm never going to play Monster Hunter on stream ever again. That was the worst streaming day of ever. Never again. May Vibin, thank you for the 3 months. Are you from fake Ireland? You talking about Boston? Yeah, the better version. Now, what's of it? Can I ask why you didn't enjoy it? I wasn't here. Oh, where do we start? I've never had such backseating streams in my entire life to everything. From literally who I talked to first, to what class I chose, or what armor I wanted, what weapons I chose. Hell, even just going into the little training range to just play around with it to figure out what the buttons do. People were like, you have to go look up tutorials, go watch this person right now. No. How about no? And we went to sub-only chat, people started donating through it, and it's like, you might say, well, you're making money on it, Flats. Yeah, but like, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. $3, because like TTS is $3, right? Like, getting my gaming experience ruined for $3 is really not worth it. Even if it was 3 times over, even if it was $9, right? Like, even if I'm just trying to play and like I got $9 for you know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'm just not having a good day at that point. Fuck off. You know what I mean? Was Twitch Rivals COD was only 1 day? Yep. We got last place, by the way, which I think is impressive. We actually got legitimately last place. But joke's on you. We get paid the same amount as 26th place. So, fuck yeah. Easy fucking clap, you know? King Kazzy and 12. I'll unmute alerts for a little bit while I wait for Discord to come back online. How much you get paid? Like $500, something like that. Get my ass kicked for 4 hours. Fucking, that's a good day for me. That's a very good day for me. Literally got my boyfriend to watch you the first time you're playing Warzone just for you to fucks to come in dead last. He just looked at me like stare. Did you tell him that was our first time playing? Is that a jar of M&Ms? Yeah. It's a big ass jar of M&Ms. Great. Yo, I love Jay, but please stop spamming Watch J3 in my chat. This is like the 50th message. Watch my fucking balls. Fuck, I love Jay, but Jesus, stop. Christ, you're gonna make me fucking want to die, man. I'd stop. Fuck. Dude, I don't care if he's playing tug of war against the moon. I'm trying to do some content, my friend. Fuck. So you go in a Twitch chat now. You are just a YouTube chat for like 5 minutes. Please, relax. What's the command? The gamersupps command? Sorry, I'm behind. Gamersupps is a brand. I have a partnership with them. But use code FLATS, you get 10% off gamersupps product. And also I have a cup with them that's coming out the 16th. If you click on the link that's there, you'll see the preview for when it will drop. It's like blurred out. It's not greatly blurred out, but you'll see it. Bro hates J3. Yep. Fuck that guy. He smells. I stubbed my pinky toe on him one time, and I'll never forgive him again. Yep. Anyways, is Discord back? Of course not. Let me try task managing it again. Of course, the one day I need to use Discord for something. I don't like ever use Discord during streams. The one day I'm like, you know what? Let me do some TikToks. Let's do some codes. Get all the content ready to go so I can just grind rivals for the next few days and not think about anything. Guess I'll go fuck myself. Everyone's Discord's down. Yep. Just let me know if yours comes back and I'll check again. That was a good one. It literally went down the second you went to use it. I know, because I watched it. I opened it, went to scroll, and it crashed. I guess you had to go hop straight onto Minecraft. Oh, no.
My Discord is up. Skill ice you for chat, I guess.
You know, you should task manager close for science and see what happens. Is this a date? Yeah. You paying? I only date sugar mamas. How will we live without Discord? I don't know. We're cooked. Are we paying? Yeah. You think I was gonna pay? The fuck? No, you're paying. What, sugar free? I don't know. So you got $500 for to get your last place. You're paying. Yeah, it's going right in the house fund. The fuck? That's not getting spent on going out on
I doubled
dates.
down on what you said. Goddamn it, Lamau.
Are you fucked now? Is your Discord dead? Good luck. Fuck you. Get rolled. Yeah. Does a browser version? No one's. I don't think anything works. I think even those ones are working because like the dono just happened. Theirs worked. I told them to restart, to close it out of Task Manager, see what happens, and now they're fucked. So, yeah. I have $500 for you, but I live in South Africa, so that's half a bottle of water for you. My treat. Wait, is the conversion rate that bad?
Think
oh,
about it.
Jesus.
Some people pay $500 to get stopped on. That was a win-win.
Dude, I would do that. I would totally like let people pay me $500 to step on you, but I don't want to get attempted murder. That sounds fucked. I don't want to go to jail. I don't think I'd do well in jail. Actually, I think I'd do. No. I'd have to change a bit. I'd have to regress. But yo, I got 1,000 bits. Appreciate it, dude.
What is your idea of a perfect fast food dinner? Fries from where, burger from where, mix and match to make the perfect dinner flats.
Regress sounds spooky? Well, I mean, okay, the reason it sounds spooky is because I grew up, like, really poor. I grew up, like, around some really bad people. And so, I was friends with all the scary people. I didn't really do anything too fucked up, but I was friends with all the really scary people. So, like, that's all I meant. Becco, I think of the tier 1. Also, think
Are you
of the...
going to watch any of the NFL draft, or do you not keep
Honestly, I
up
could
with
not.
football as much?
So that was an unhinged message. I don't really care that much anymore, if
Step
I'm
on
completely
me
honest
and
with
you'll
you.
snap a picture of those dogs to sell to chatters. I know there are digins here. I'm going to be rich.
I will fucking sue your ass, okay? Yo, thank you for the big 1,000 bits. Appreciate it, dude. Yo, hey. Hey. A guy on the YouTube chat who's complaining about not reading YouTube chat. Listen, man. Tim reads all of his YouTube chat messages, right? But they're all donos, all right? So if you start acting like Tim's chat and you guys dono, I'll read every single one of your messages. I promise you. Okay? I've been to a Tim stream before. I don't loop me in there. Don't say they're not reading your YouTube chat. He reads every goddamn chat message. Just they're all paid, okay? If you want to start, guys, you guys want to start acting like that, I promise you, you'll get the same treatment. To answer your question on the bits, though, I'm gonna be real with you, dude. Dude, fast food makes me feel like shit these days. I don't even like it anymore. Like, I'll have it, but like rarely. It's not something I go out of my way for. So if I was gonna choose, I'd probably want to choose like...
It's crazy how the casual community looks down on Overwatch. I couldn't even get 9 of my friends into our pugs, but last weekend I managed to get like 48 people of all ranks for a rivals tourney. It's crazy how widely popular this game is.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I could go pretty deep into that, but you're not wrong. Think of the 3. If I had to pick, I'm probably going no Subway. Listen, man, I had friends that worked at Subway in high school and college. I saw some abhorrent things at Subways, and I just can't. Also, sub Megan. I would probably say either In-N-Out Burger or Shake Shack Burger, McDonald's fries, and a Five Guys shake. That'd be the way to go. At least I think. That'd probably be the way. Cookout? I've never had Cookout. That's not a thing up here. Also, is Discord back yet? Nope. Of course not. Dude, what did they get fucking hacked? I've never seen Discord down for this long. What did you see at Subway? Oh, just like flies landing on the food, and they wouldn't do anything about it. Stuff dropped on the floor as long as it like wasn't in dirt. Stuff left out for like the whole day, not like being properly refrigerated. I didn't give a shit, you know. What about Jersey Mike's? I don't have any stories about Jersey Mike's, but if I had to get a sub, I'm probably going there. Or I'm going to Firehouse. Firehouse is probably the way to go. Firehouse is gas.
I have a serious question, and I know you said
I'm
you
scared.
wouldn't look at bronze again, but if you at some point could see if I'm going good on Rivals, I would love it so much.
I don't understand that. What was the question? You want me to look specifically at you? I don't look specifically at anyone. It's completely random. It's completely just like
Dear
submit
YouTube,
and take your.
you forgot to pay
You
for
might
the
get picked. You
premium
might not.
response package. It's $1 for a blink, $5 for a stare, $10 for a response. Anyways, Twitch chat, if you have a Prime sub laying around, you can subscribe to streamer for ad-free viewing. Corper clap.
True. Firehouse subs elite. Hook and ladder for the win. True. Wegman subs are top tier. Dude, I haven't been to Wegmans in a minute. Whenever I get Wegmans, I always get it from Instacart. I always Instacart Wegmans. I'm too lazy to fucking go. Because like I only get like very specific things from there, you know? And I just, dude, I don't want to go to Wegmans and buy I don't want to walk out with 5 bags of chips, right? But like I will absolutely Instacart 5 bags of Wegmans sour cream and onion chips. You know why? Because they're fucking gas. They're like $3 a bag. You get a big ass bag, 70% of it's air, but you think it's a big ass bag. And then they deliver it to your house and no one sees you do it. You know what I mean? Becca, thing they gifted. You know, I do go. The only grocery store I go to anymore these days, I'm gonna be honest with you, Walmart. The only reason I go to Walmart is because I go late at night. I've never gotten recognized there. I just get in, grab my shit, and I leave. I've gotten recognized at so many other places, so I just don't go there anymore. Said Discord's back? Hell yeah, it is back. Cool.
Krispy Kreme is superior to Dunkin' Donuts. I hate living on the East Coast. I hate Dunkin'. Bring me my Krispy Kreme donuts.
Yo, real,
Now
bro.
I wanna hear you go into how the casual community looks at Rivals versus Overwatch. That sounds interesting.
I mean, like, realistically, like, there's just a large group of people that will never get over the PvE debacle. They'll never get over the Overwatch 2 stuff. It doesn't matter how good the game becomes, doesn't matter how good things are, it doesn't matter how much they do, it will never happen. You will never get those people back, period. That is unfortunately the way of the world.
All right,
That being said, why the fuck is this? Oh, I gotta play the. Hold on, I gotta play the game again where I pick the same shapes. Wait, none of them are the same. Oh, yes, they are. Unable to verify? Please choose again. Yo! I'm failing the quiz!
In Marvel Rivals. And before you even think I'm about to say something bad,
Okay, sorry. I failed the robot quiz. Okay. Fucking hell. Dude, I don't know how. Dude, they were the same shape and it said unable to recognize and it failed me. What the hell? Discord still died. Mine's back. Mine's back. Hopefully it doesn't die again. I don't know. Oh, the Krispy Kreme crash out. Yo, real. Okay, listen. When I was a kid, there was one in my town where I grew up. And you could... Bro, dude, on fucking Valentine's Day, you could get cards from Krispy Kreme. If like you were a kid, and you could give them to people, right? And it was like a Valentine's Day card at school. And it would be, you could get a Krispy Kreme donut for it, right? And so a lot of the teachers would do that for their class and give everyone one. So everyone got a Valentine's Day card. And then you could go to Krispy Kreme and you'd give it to them and you'd get a free donut. It was so fucking good. And then you could go and you could watch them come down the line. And then they closed down and they became a fucking vitamin store and a Dunkin' Donuts. All right? And they're the worst Dunkin' Donuts within like 10 miles by fucking far, right? Like, there are good Dunkies all over the place. There's like 4 Dunkies within a quarter of a mile, and they're all good. This one Dunkies is fucking dog shit. I can't believe it. They just released a trailer for Stadium. Is that true? Yo, Retro, are you here? Yeah, I love how Discord's fucked for everybody. Wait, is Retro here? Sorry for the. I was reading something really quick. Think of the super chats on the YouTube side. Have you seen the Gator comp and Rivals? All tanks, one rocket. No, I haven't. And Osama, think of the super chat. When are we getting Overwatch TikToks? Next week. Next week. I'll do some next week. Promise. Okay. Retro, are you here? Oh, Meltro, you're here. I'm glad you're here. So, this just popped up, chat. Wait, is that the super chats? Are they behind? Because I don't have one on my thing. Stadium gameplay trailer premieres April 14th. So you know how earlier you asked me in chat, Meltro specifically, I know you're here, because you were like, why no Overwatch today? Because it's the day before Rivals. And I was like, no Overwatch today. And you're like, why? And I was like, there's one of those times where I can't say anything, and I would love to tell you there's a reason why I'm not playing Overwatch, and I want to, but like I'm not, because like I'm a human being and I also like to be excited for things. And so I couldn't say anything to you at all. Period. But I knew about this. The gameplay trailer premiere on April 14th. Wait, you want to? I'm clipping it? Yeah. I knew about this because we're actually going to get to play it early that day. Well, not early that day. So like when after this comes out, like after the trailer is shown later on that day, we're going to get to play it early and stream it. So it'll be a play test, but like a public play test from home. for not public playtest, like a stream public, like stream for like us to get to play it and show you guys and see if they see how things have changed from Spotlight. And also, I'm also probably, I mean, I might be assuming here, I don't know if this is actually true, so I'm probably talking on my ass, but maybe even some people that didn't get to go to Spotlight get to play too. I don't actually know how many people were included with it, but yeah, that's why I wasn't playing Overwatch today, because I told you guys literally 2 months ago that I was excited to play the fuck out of Stadium, and then I know that I'm gonna get to play this a little early, which is next week, in like 4 days. So like, how the hell am I supposed to go back and play Overwatch for the next couple days when I don't really want to play that as much as I want to play this, right? I'd rather just play this. So, yeah. So next week on the 14th, this gameplay trailer is going to launch. And then later on this same day, we're going to get to play it and stream it and show you. It's going to be the same day? Yeah. Megan, you're here, right? I don't want to get in trouble. Is the times good? The times that you said? Can I say those? Is that cool? Times are fine? Okay. So the trailer will go live at 9 p.m. Or sorry, 9 a.m. And then we get to jump in and play at 11 a.m. So about 2 hours later. So, yeah. So I'll be playing that on the 14th when this drops. So to answer your question, I just want to say, do you know how often this shit happens? Right? Where you guys come in and ask me to play something or ask me to do something, and I'm not doing it at the moment, and I have a very good reason, but I literally can't tell you. And how often you're probably disappointed, and I'm not giving you a real answer, and I literally fucking can't. You know what I mean? It happens more often than you'd probably ever want to know. But yeah, looking forward to this. Looks cool. Excuses, blabbering. I will fuck you up. I'm up. Okay. Cool. Is Retro's Discord
Bro,
dead? I'm gonna text Retro.
You can't disappoint me any more than I have already been in my life.
Wait, no, Retro hasn't responded at all today. Wait, is Retro busy today? Yo, crap, are you here? Is something Retro got going on?
Hey.
I'll text him, but... You saw him in chat a while ago? Oh. Alright, I'll send him a text then. In a super chat, you need an NDA toggle to troll chat. What does that mean, an NDA toggle? Well, hang on. That's also spooky because, like, if you ask me a question and I respond with an NDA toggle thing, it's like, well, now you know you fished up the right thing. You know what I mean? Exterior thing of the prime, King of Yes thing of the prime, Kubot thing of the prime. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do, right? Also, King thing of the gifted, Dahlia thing of the bits, and Z-Kid thing of the 2-1. I always can't disappoint me more than I've already been disappointed. It's the toggle and the red dot start moving. Yeah, honestly, real. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Okay, I got some TikToks that I wanted to go through. I need to go to the bathroom though, so I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Then we're gonna run through these Rivals TikToks. And then I think I have like one maybe code to do for Rivals. And then after that, maybe do some hardcore Minecraft. Okay? All right, child, I'll be back in 2 seconds. BRB.
I do find it funny that everyone tries to control your stream like we're not meant to be sitting here watching you. Have a great stream.
Okay. All right. Pop me one, by the way. Thank you for one. I appreciate it. I did. All right. Discord's back up. And because Discord's back up, it's time for a lot of your guys' favorite section, which is looking at some Marvel Rivals TikToks. So if you don't know how this works, you guys submit TikToks to me in my Discord. I have a channel for it. I have two channels. I have one for Overwatch, and I have one for Rivals. Technically, I have a third one for non-Overwatch TikToks, but I've been slacking on those. But regardless, though, yeah, if you see some funny TikToks, cool TikToks, stupid TikToks, bad takes, good takes, ridiculous, whatever it might be, throw them in my Discord. My mods will make sure that I don't get DMCA'd / banned for whatever it is. And then we'll take a look at them on stream. So without you guys, this content wouldn't be possible. You want to see more of it? Make sure you can keep submitting them. First one up, we got this one.
All right, let's talk about Adam Warlock mains in Marvel Rivals. And before you even think I'm about to say something bad, absolutely not. Are you insane? Do you think I would ever disrespect
How's the audio?
divine? You must be out of your mind if you thought I was about to slander the Adam Warlock mains.
How's the audio on it, chat? Is it quiet? I feel like it's a little quiet. Am I wrong? Great. I will put it here. If the next one's really loud, it might blow out your eardrums. Good luck. All right.
Purest beings to ever touch this game. I'm not trying to get on Quad's bad side. No, sir. That man is the leader of the Adam Warlock Society, the high priest of Warlock wisdom, and I am not about to be cast out for blasphemy. Because let's be honest, Adam Warlock mains are not just players. They are godlike creatures who have transcended gaming itself. They are operating on a level of understanding so advanced, so cosmically profound, that we mere mortals could never
I'm starting to become uncomfortable with the amount of, what do the kids use? Glazing that is happening in this.
comprehend it. They have walked the golden path, seen the light, and chosen to bless us with their presence. If you ever have an Adam Warlock on your team, you better praise them. Thank them for existing. Thank them for even acknowledging you, a simple peasant, by playing on the same battlefield. You are standing on holy ground in their presence, and you will show respect. Because Adam Warlock mains are rare. You don't just get an Adam Warlock in your game. You are chosen.
Are they rare? Yeah, I guess they are kind of rare. At least, yeah, because most people just suck at them.
To witness their greatness. They are like prophets, descending from the heavens to guide us with knowledge so deep, so divine, that only other...
They're not that rare in quick play? Well, because in quick play, it's just DPS players that are trying to flex and pretend like they're actually helping out the team by playing support, but they're just going to play DPS the entire time and then just use their E to self-heal.
Warlocks could possibly comprehend it. Now, sure, maybe they'll revive you in the worst position imaginable, like right in front of the entire enemy team, with no cover, and 2 seconds before an ulting Winter Soldier wipes you off the map. But listen to me carefully. Adam Warlock does not make mistakes. The word mistake does not exist in their godly vocabulary. If you die instantly after being revived, that's not on them. That's on you, for not being strong enough to survive their celestial blessing. You weren't worthy. That's a skill issue, not a Warlock issue. So next time you see an Adam Warlock main, bow your head, thank them for their service, and do your best to not disappoint them. Because if you're lucky enough to have one in your game, you have just been blessed beyond your wildest dreams.
Until you're playing double support comp, and then the other one's a Rocket, and you're running Rocket, Adam, and you get no heals, and your tanks are fucking screaming their heads off. Then I will say, I don't know if you're actually too blessed. I guess someone could go Mantis. You could run Mantis Rocket, Adam. That might not be... Well... Yeah, regardless, so that was just a lot of... That was heavy. We'll be honest, that was a lot of glaze, as they say. All right, more Adam.
Momentum boosted, momentum boosted, karmic revival, flying. So I recently saw a clip of someone using karmic revival while moving. I got the actual
I didn't even know that's what that was called.
clip, and there was an invisible woman behind him that pushed him while he was ulting. But that confirms something that I've already seen before. Adam can do this with any form of displacement. If there were a piece of geometry that he could clip himself into while he's starting the animation that would spit him out, that would send him flying, but then it'd be pretty hard to replicate it in game. The most consistently replicatable version of this would be with Rocket Raccoon, as his BRB does have the blue packets which allow you to jump higher.
Wait, what?
And this is one long uninterrupted jump. So if we were to go on, I don't know, say a high ceiling, you could then jump and bounce off of it while ulting like this. And when Adam's in his karmic revival, he never loses height. He also keeps his momentum in all directions, which means he could do something like this. I'm gonna practice this till I get it right.
That seems like the world's most useless / niche tech, but I bet they find a way where in a very specific situation, it actually is extremely useful if it's actually a thing. I'm fascinated. You know, maybe the last TikTok had a point. Wait, I just realized you're doing movement text on a character with no movement abilities? That's crazy. Nibbles, by the way, thank you the Prime. Hawkeye, thank you the Prime. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. All right, next.
Fear Magneto! Shouldn't you be running? I just popped my ultimate. No, I don't think I will.
I told you some of them would end up being loud because I have I had to turn the other one up for you. Okay, I told you. I told you it was gonna happen.
But I can one-shot you in your support. Shouldn't you? Do you not know how this works?
Yeah, wait, what? Yo, what's going on with the atoms? Why is there so much atoms in a row? What is this?
Oh, no, I know how this works. But why would I fear something that isn't perfect? No, I'm gonna fear something that wasn't perfect. Kobe. Soul Link. That was a fully charged ultimate. How did you survive? When you are the embodiment of perfection, there is nothing to fear. You think you're
Wait, it just all clicked. Wait, is his whole personality is about being perfect? Is that his thing? Oh. So it's like playing into the character. Oh, I didn't understand till now.
actions have meaning. With the snap of my fingers, I can make all of it useless. Well, your whole team is dead, so what perfection is going to save you now? I guess you forgot. I watched Squad and learned the Adam Warlock movement tech with his ultimate. Born again! What the hell? He just turned into a helicopter!
Wait, is that what the previous video was? What the hell are they talking about? Is that what the movement tech was? Is that... Okay, I just wanted to be sure. Alright, listen, they said quad, okay? And the person before video was the real Furum. Alright, not quad, so I was confused. Alright? Keep up, please? I'm trying! Fuck! Okay, next.
This game, everybody, you have to scream your ult line. You have to be one, feel the character, be one.
Before you attack.
Do I switch the language to Japanese?
It's okay.
I'm being dangerous!
Chat. Oh, I hate to say it. This was posted on 2/28. I'm so glad we all got to have our fun and memes. And I don't want to be that guy, but I feel like it's kind of already past. I don't see nearly as many funny meme ones like this anymore. I hope that it's not gone. I hope the era's not over.
Oh god, didn't.
I hope not.
Hey guys, what time is it?
He's clobbering.
What time is it?
I don't know.
Oh, you're good, Retro.
Just a settle.
This is genuinely peak.
This isn't gonna be as fun much longer, Adam.
I love games like this.
This game.
These are my favorite type of games. These goofy games. I love them. Okay, next.
I'm opening a portal.
Wait, what's happening? No. Wait. Man, wait, why was he over here? What? Oh, he probably didn't know you could replace it. That's so funny. Yo, that is literally an endless battle. I actually don't. Is it even possible for them to kill each other? I don't even know if it's genuinely possible. That's so good. Okay, next. Nice. Next.
Jake, there's one left. And I think he's trying to survive.
Maximum!
Deserved? Some might say yes. Will I say yes? No, I don't want to die. Okay, next.
You can't get rid of us so easy.
Had to ask everyone to watch the history replay of his second rollout. Was not disappointed. Wait, oh, he asked everyone to watch it. Okay. What?
You can't get rid of us so easy.
How the fuck did you do that?
You can't get rid of us so easy. You can't get rid of.
Wait, it just makes it a minute long, so he gets paid the. Yo, W. Honestly, I respect the hustle. Make him just keep replaying the same 6-second clip just to get put in the creator program. I get it. You know what? Corp a fucking clap. Respect. Next.
Marvel might have just found the best.
Oh, I do want to figure out how that's possible. I wonder if I can go replicate that. Andrew said he can't even do that rollout. Did he try? Was it a bug? Like, it's probably a bug. It's okay, let's be honest. It's probably a bug. It should still be possible. I don't even know.
Marvel might have just found the best marketing strategy with Marvel Rivals. I don't know about you guys, but I am not well versed in the Marvel universe, and I never would have watched this upcoming Fantastic Four movie if it wasn't for Marvel Rivals, which I'm now probably gonna go see. And it's not just future projects either. I had no idea who Psylocke or Adam Warlock were before Marvel Rivals, and I didn't even know that both of them appeared in a movie. Now my dad.
I would not be surprised if Marvel as an IP, not Marvel Rivals, Marvel, like the big one, like the mouse, you know what I mean? The big mouse recognized how powerful of a tool Marvel Rivals is as a marketing tool and starts to lean in even harder to like collaborating movies with in-game stuff. Because like, to my knowledge, they did that with Marvel Snap, and nothing against Marvel Snap, but Marvel Snap was a very small game from what I've seen, right? Like, it's not anywhere near the size of the Titanic AAA studios of like your Apex, your Valorant, your CS, you get what I'm saying, right? So now that they have one available like that, I would not be surprised if they do that more.
Like, damn, I might have to go watch those movies. Also, you're telling me Eyebrows guy played Adam Warlock? I thought he was supposed to be the perfect hero. You know what? Whatever. It is what it is. Also, while researching this video...
Did everyone know this? Am I the last person to figure it out?
I just realized that Magic is also in a movie. First of all, I didn't even know that character existed until Marvel Rivals. And second, she was in a movie that came out in 2020. Okay, now that I'm thinking about it, there's probably a reason I've never seen any of these movies. They're probably terrible. But nonetheless, this game introduced me to probably like 10 characters I had no idea existed. And now I'm pretty invested in their stories and would watch a movie or show or something about them. And it's a good thing that Marvel has the exact means to do just that. So it won't end up like a...
Where have I heard this before? Hero shooter... unique characters. People want to see more lore about them, get attached to them, want to hear their stories. Where have I heard that before?
Another game that drags you in and connects you to their characters, but then can't back it up with any cinematics later on down the road.
I swear, on all that is holy, I did not ever pre-watch these. I've never once, literally not a single time, I have never, ever pre-watched a single TikTok when these get reviewed. I always am fully hands off. Every time, I always make sure mods, retro crap, all handle it. That way, it's my first time seeing it.
Road. I'm sorry, that's not a fair comparison. To ask a little indie company for just a 10 to 12 minute long YouTube animation, they're working really hard on their Kiriko skins in the meantime, so it's okay.
Next.
You may be losing the match before the first round even.
Sorry, I haven't quite fully recovered yet. I'm just... Dude, Overwatch, can you guys wake the fuck up over there, man? Because, like, genuinely, you've made the game, like, gameplay so much better. You have hero bans on the horizon. You have stadium on the horizon. You have all these fucking things that are actually for the in-game good. You just need a fucking cyberpunk moment. You just need your fucking cyberpunk. And you fucking Sorry. Oh, let's move on.
You may be losing the match before the first round even starts. Now let me explain. The ban phase should never be auto-piloted, and unfortunately I've been seeing it way too often recently. Stop banning based off of what the community thinks is broken. For example, the Hulk is the most banned hero right now. Yes, I get it, his team up is
when did this come out? 126.
Decent. But the reality is the Hulk is the hardest tank to play, and not many tanks know how to play him, even in Grandmaster or Celestial.
Wasn't the original reason, though, because, like, people thought, like, Iron Man was really strong with, like, Strange, and, like, Strange Hulk was really good, but, like, Strange, okay, season 0/season 1 Gamma team up was still really strong. You could one-shot through support ults if you're fully charged, so it was still kind of worth it. But I guess it makes a good point, but, like, at the same time, though, I think that's the beauty of bans, right? Like, the beauty of bans is to let people ban wherever the fuck they want. Like, you know, there was almost an argument to not have bans in, like, anything below diamond, right? When people were debating it, now it's going to be in gold. And a lot of people were like, well, they just won't know what to ban. But is that really a good argument to not have them have bans? It's like, yeah, if they want to ban Jeff the Landshark, let them fucking ban Jeff the Landshark. Who cares?
This makes banning him a waste, and the enemy is most likely going to ban him anyways. The worst thing you can do is double up bans with the enemy. If you absolutely do not care about putting thought into your ban picks, default to banning Luna and Cloak and Dagger. These are the two strongest heroes in the game, and their mains will be absolutely useless without them.
I mean, maybe this is a hot take. I think you should ban around what your team is playing. Everyone locks stuff right at the beginning of the game. Like, let's say you have an Atom player, you're not banning Star-Lord, you're probably not banning Mantis. If you have a Luna player, however, you're not going to ban Luna. You might want to ban Cloak. No, I don't know if you want to ban Cloak. Like, let's say you ban Invis instead, right? Like, this vid is way too old. This one is old, right? That's why I'm not trying to, like, harp on the actual individual pieces. I'm talking about bans as a whole. Is, like, bans can win you a game as long as, like, you're enabling your teammates, right? Like, you enable your teammates with bans. Like, you don't ban just off of, like, I don't like this character. Like, if you see your teammates play certain things, ban what's good against them.
Plus, it will allow both teams to enjoy the game instead of constant support ultimates. But there is a better way. On the first pick, you should ban based off of your team's selections. Yes, that means for the love of God, please hover over the character that you want to play.
Oh, this is actually good. I agree.
Chat who you're willing to flex. If you see that your team has a Groot or double tank, ban Wolverine. Or if you have a Rocket or a Jeff who aren't the best supports in a duo support comp, you absolutely want to ban Cloak and Dagger or Luna. That way it evens the playing field. If you see your team has 2 to 3 dive heroes, ban them more, as he is the best anti-dive hero.
Or you ban Luna, actually, but
the game.
Well, now that's going to be gone because the Gamma team up's going to be there instead. But, like,
for the love of
now you can just ban Hulk.
Do not target ban your own teammates. Trust me, I get it. You're probably sick of that Lord Spidey insta-locking, but target banning him is just going to make...
Yeah, I've had teammates ban Rocket because he's my main. I genuinely feel a little bit bad for the Rocket community and how they were persecuted in the beginning of this game. Not saying you specifically, but, like, man, they're kind of annoying, like, with, like, the whole win rate thing. Like, you ever talk to them about it? Like, they're always like, it's the highest win rate, though. It's like, dude, I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? But it's like, I do feel bad for those types of players that get their mains banned. That's where I feel bad. It's just like, I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I don't know why it's probably as a reaction to the other stuff. But yeah, that's not fun. That's ass.
make him
Sorry to hear
throw.
that, dude.
So instead, ban Namor and or Luna to make his job easier. On the second pick, you want to ban off the enemy's first pick, as that may show what they're planning on doing. For example, if they ban Namor on the
It's why you shouldn't one trick. One tricking is a whole different conversation.
first pick, they're most likely playing a dive or a melee hero, so ban Panther to be safe, as he is the best melee hero. If they ban Hela, you can ban Hulk or Storm to be safe, because they may plan on playing a flyer. And none of these are hard set rules. I'm just trying to get your guys' brains moving. You may be losing.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, not bad. Good, actually, good TikTok. Last one. Chat. Don't forget, these are completely supplied by you. So if you guys don't submit them into my Discord, and show me either cool, stupid, good takes, bad takes, ridiculous, good memes, whatever it is, I can't do these because I'm only one set of eyes, one set of hands. So yeah, if you see cool ones, make sure you put them in my Discord. My mods will go through it, make sure there's nothing gonna get me banned, and we'll watch them on stream. So if you want to see more of it, that's how you get more. All right, let's go.
Welcome to Where My Heels At.
Oh my god, this is a quiet one. Okay, let me max it out for you guys. Good luck.
Where I spectate insta-lock DPS shitters who complain about their healers. Today is special because my boys Tony Romero and Blore sent me a video of an Iron Man who went 5 and 7 with 7,500 damage in a Grandmaster Convoy game, who was more concerned with blaming the healers than playing the actual game. Off the rip, he's gonna go into autopilot and doesn't know.
I was gonna give a small warning, because like, as one content creator or another who likes watching spectating people, you gotta like try to make sure you're spectating someone who like actually submitted it to the game. And like for this case was actually shit talking, but they did do the due diligence. Because I definitely have people sometimes like submit stuff for spectating bronze, and they pretended to be somebody in a game, so I would roast someone they didn't like, and it's like, you know what I mean? So it's a little bit complicated, but yeah.
In a Grandmaster Convoy game, who was more concerned with blaming the healers than playing the actual game. Off the rip, he's going to go into autopilot and doesn't know how to fly like one of these airlines that keeps crashing, and he's just going to go down. And here he's going to make his healers turn around from the fight and heal him from behind, and then he's going to say, Jarvis, do nothing, and just kind of stand here and float around and watch the team fight. I swear there's so many babies that play this game. This dude's already saying GG, go next, not even 2 minutes into the game.
God, I fucking hate people who do that. You know what it is? It's the worst fucking player every goddamn time. Worst fucking player. I haven't played a whole lot of Rivals Ranked the last couple weeks. I've heard it's been awful. Like, awful. I think I have 10 games in like the last month. No, that's not true. Maybe 20 games in the last month. Maybe 25, give or take. Regardless, it's always the worst players who have the most to say. I had games, dude. I had a game against Wanted with me and Riggsy. And Wanted's on the other team. One death in, this motherfucker started fucking complaining, bitching, saying like, "Oh, we're gonna lose, whatever." We carried him all the way through first fight. We end up winning all 3 points, whatever. He's still complaining. He starts getting fucking destroyed in the Bucky duel, like versus Wanted. Like Wanted is diffing this guy to the moon. He has like 16 deaths. The next closest I think was one of our supports at like 7. And by the end, he goes from complaining about everyone being like, "Hey guys, like, you know, can we get on this Bucky a little bit more? Can we kill him? It's like, oh, you need help? You need help, buddy? You fucking need help?" And it's like, oh man, listen, take stock in this. If you have someone in your game, you just admitted that Wanted killed the man in cold blood. Yeah, because that's my goat right there. I was gonna say, listen, you take stock in this. If somebody is hard bitching in your games and going GG or whatever, just take solace that they're probably the worst player in the game. Like, in the whole lobby. They're the worst player in the game. You'll feel a little better.
Woman pops ult. He has his ult. He could fly into this blue tube and pop it to clear the whole enemy team, but he's not going to do it. Instead, he's going to pocket that thing like a Bic lighter, and he's going to go down. Coming down to the end of the game, something needs to happen. The support ults have been popped, and if only you had something that could change the trajectory of this fight. Oh wait, you did. Instead, you fly dead center, ignore the Loki shift, take damage, pop your maximum pulse, and hit no one. This was his only ult of the game. Second.
Is there only ult of the game?
He takes a lot of damage and he flies right here, but I want you to see this. He flew right past the health pack. Still playing behind his healers. He's going to take more damage here, and then he's just going to
probably didn't even know the health pack is there.
And he's just going to stay there. And
hello?
While he's here, this is stuff.
Bro, you can literally see the health pack on their screen. Like, I get not knowing where the health pack is, but motherfucker can see it. It's right there. Holy, that would tilt the fuck out of me. I would scream.
I'm here in safety waiting for you to heal me. That's literally what your job is.
Wait, what?
Pack. Still playing behind his healers. He's
Wait,
gonna
is this
take
a
more
comms
damage here,
clip?
and then he's just gonna tuck himself into this corner, and he's just gonna stay there. And while he's here, this is stuff he wants to say.
I need healing right now. How can I engage the enemy? I'm here in safety waiting for you to heal me. That's literally what your job is.
He went back here with 3 minutes and 13 seconds left on the clock. And instead of thrusting his ass to this health pack to heal him, he just stayed there. He stayed there so long, he's got Scarlett Johansson wishing she could
Wait, W name. I'm Drake May.
Chris Kyle his ass. And then with 2 minutes and
Do you
12
think that's
seconds
actually
left,
Drake
he
May?
finally decides to move and go get the health pack that was further away. Then takes damage and goes back to the corner like it's Blair Witch Project. He stays there so long the enemy hella knows he's there and goes and just takes him out. Stop blaming your healers and play the damn game. Welcome to where my
Holy fucking shit. Dude, you know, I only typically do spectating bronze, spectating rank 1, just because, like, those are, like, the far ends and has the most fun content. But Jesus Christ, I didn't realize GM looked this bad sometimes. Oof. Yeah. That's a classic. That's a classic right there. Yeah, good series. You know what? I hope this pops up my For You page. I think I'd enjoy it. But yeah, as a reminder, you want to see more TikToks like this, make sure you submit in my Discord. If you don't, I can't do this content. So yeah, if you enjoy it, make sure you do that. Okay. Cool. All right, I think I do have one more. I have one more potential spectating in-game code. I think. I'm gonna load it up. Also, Ma, thank you for the 25 months. Appreciated. Sorry, I have alerts off. Zeronova, thank you for the Prime. Lord Robin, thank you for the Prime. That's a name. Favorite, thank you for the Prime. Duck Fan, thank you for the Prime. LP Venus, thank you for the Prime. Or sorry, the tier 1. Yeah. It is retro. Lord Kata, thank you for the Prime. Alright. What's this? Do I have all my stuff? Oh, I do have all my stuff. Okay, cool. Do I have all my Battle Pass stuff done? I guess technically I haven't bought this. Oops. Buy this technically. Oh, I didn't do all these. Yo, thank you for the super chat. Was it you who said Cowtails were your road trip go-to snack? I got one yesterday for the first time forever. It was so good. I don't know if it was me who said that specifically, but I do enjoy them. Like, I haven't had one in many years, but they're very good. Is that everything? It's everything, right? Yeah, it is. This real quick, get my 1,000 units. Cool. Alright, Battle Pass complete. Battle Pass complete. New season tomorrow? Yep. New season is tomorrow. Okay. Let me see what's going on here. The audio? Oh yeah, I have it maxed out again because of TikToks. Oh. Wait, is it this one? All right. Chat. It's been a little bit, but I got a good one right here, potentially. of potential cheating Hela, and there's two different codes that got submitted. One's from Plat, the other one's a higher rank, I believe. I'm actually not 100%. I know where they ended at, or where they ended up being around at. I don't know if that's where the jump ends up coming up to, but yeah, there's this Hela player who apparently aim lock, teleporting, flying, and invincibility. It's only a 5-minute game. And so it said, so me, Bucky, and my homie Squirrel Girl, we're playing some rank, trying to climb a bit. We walk out of spawn with our team, and we just drop like flies to a flanking Hela. The whole team was confused until we watched kill cams, where she is blatantly aim hacking, as well as her shots coming from 5 to 10 meters above her, and auto-locking onto all of our heads. I also happened to notice later in the match she literally took no damage. We lose the game because, well, even if the enemy team chose to draw the game out, the Hela couldn't die or anything, and easily could have capped alone. I have not heard of god hacks, like, can't take damage. Even all the cheaters we've spectated so far, even if they can fly and stuff like that, they can still take damage. Is this a new one? Of course their name is Bitcoin One. Average fucking crypto, bro. You gotta be shitting me.
The right heroes could make all the difference.
Alright, where is it?
You have to stop them from securing the mission.
So is this one? Isn't this the Twitch one? Isn't this the Twitch one? So I know what it is. I know what it is from the Jeff spectating. The Jeff spectating taught me what happened here. So I'm gonna leave their POV, and you're gonna see the bullets come down, right? So what ends up happening is they're able to somehow lock their position on the map from wherever they were. And so even though they fall, the same thing can happen. Like if they were walking forward, the character model will walk, but they actually don't. Like they're in the air right here. And so them not taking damage is like, if you technically shot at this spot in the air, I think they would take damage, but you'll see them be down here and nothing happens, right? Yeah, because they're technically like their POV or like where their character, you see how they teleported back up? Like after that, after they go to move again, see that it's glitched out, and then they teleport back up and start controlling again. It's like they're somehow stuck floating. It's not even moving their hitbox. It's literally like they freeze themselves in midair. Maybe the account name is the price for cheats. Dude, a Bitcoin is like $60,000. Hyperion thing, that's your one. If it's 1 Bitcoin, yeah, no, I don't know about that one. This could unironically be Elon Musk. No, they're not walking into walls, so I don't think so. Yeah, see, like their POV, yeah, they're actually still up in the sky. And so the game thinks that they're actually bugged out. The game thinks they're bugged out because they're stuck right now in the air. And so the game will tell them they can return to spawn room. There's a mechanic just in case you get stuck in a wall or something, so you can get out. But it triggers because it thinks that they're in trouble, but they're not actually in trouble. They're doing it on purpose. Yeah, this is fucked. Like, what do you... I don't think they even do anything. Right? Yeah, they're all just gonna sit and spawn.
Your god is suffering.
Poor Venom. So yeah, they're probably just gonna let this one go. Not much you can really do. Venom tries to dive him, but you're not gonna be able to kill him because he's gonna be in the middle of the air.
Bring on the chaos. Your powers are
ready to put on a show.
So this apparently goes on for quite a while, not just in this game, but in the next one as well. I'm waiting for the one dude unironically defending this. No. That would be pure bait. See, sometimes when people do that, sometimes people say like, "Fuck, it's just bait." I'm like, no, listen. You would expect it to be bait, but there are a lot of people that are actually end up like that.
So cold. Down to 30 seconds.
You'd be surprised.
Score is
Alright, so how do they win the attack? That's what I wanted to know.
time to switch.
Because they said no matter what,
Including which
they would just win. And so,
Capture the mission area. Got it?
even if they want... Wait,
Battle starts in
are the rest of them going in?
4, 3, 2,
Or they're all going in. Wait, they said even if they drew, but they're not even trying to draw. Wait, they died. Yeah, so they're definitely not invincible. They're not invincible. So he probably tries to lock his character here, but because like it was probably right here, right? The hitbox is big enough probably for the Mr. Fantastic that he still hits him. So like, even though I think that they probably locked themselves out just like they have been doing when they flew up. That's why they look kind of odd on the way down. Right here. They probably locked themselves up. That's why they stand still for a half a second. But the hitbox still exists. Kind of sucks though that they're all still tryharding and running to point to cap. I mean, it's plat, so I guess that's to be expected, you know? It's kind of unfortunate though.
I am barely harmed.
Can I just say, this is the most Giga Chad thing I've ever seen. Yeah, Mr. Fantastic's trying to hit him. Actually, no, was it Mr. Fantastic trying to hit him or someone else? It was Mr. Fantastic. You can see it! Wait, the Mr. Fantastic's actually a great example of the hitbox, like, being stopped up here. Because, look, he's gonna E at him. Watch what happens. And he just randomly E's to nothing in the sky and he takes damage. But yeah, there's just not much. Damn though, they still walk in and just take it. That's kind of annoying. I guess there's only so much you're gonna be able to expect because they would just still win anyways, probably with the cheater. But I mean, 6v1, I guess you would expect that they would have a chance of fighting back. But that's not all though. Where is it? So when was the first one posted? What was the date? That was 3/23. So just later on that same day, they climbed from Plat to Celestial 1. I just wanted to play some ranked games as a solo queue gamer. Trying to get back on my previous main as Psylocke, minding my own business, up until I see the enemy point out that our Punisher/Hela is hacking. Paid attention to the scoreboard and kill feed, noticing they kept hitting headshots. The enemy team obviously just gave up, but our hacker kept talking smack about the enemy Hela, about buy better hacks. So I don't know if this is going to be interesting, but I did notice some movement anomalies during the replay. Ending with 30 final hits, my team at the end also said something about to queue up with the hacker and supporting them. Edit, the hacker has been banned for 100 years. So I was hoping I was just going to save that part for the end to see if they actually did get banned, but it looks like they did. That is interesting though, the point of queuing up with them, because remember I did a spectating cheater towards the launch of Rivals? A lot of you probably don't know what happened with that. So what happened was they ended up being a 4-stack or something, or like a team of people, and they were like trying to boost all of their teammates. Yeah, they went so far as to try to use it as a clout moment and like made like a response video and stuff. I never looked at it because like, why in the fuck am I gonna promote that? Why the hell am I gonna like platform cheater that's like boosting people through the ranks at that point? You know what I mean? That being said, though, it was wild. It was absolutely wild. So,
The battle starts in 5.
wait a fucking second. Wait a fucking second. That name I recognize. Hang on, am I losing my fucking shit? Kaza I almost called him the Thor. Jesus Christ, I almost said something completely different. I think that's the same guy. Hold the fuck up. Chat, remember this. Remember this screen. Everybody, you know what? No, it's not. Okay, thank God. Just double checking. Wait. No. Okay. Got a little, wait. Wasn't there a Spider-Man? Oh, no, they swapped. Okay. Alright, we're good. No. No, then it's none of them. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. It was not them. Oof. Scared me for a sec. Okay, let me get the other one back. Jesus Christ. All right.
The battle starts in
That potential disaster has been avoided.
2. You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
Well, yeah, this is the same person. I wasn't talking about being the same person. I was talking about the teammates. I love how they're shooting at the Venom there, clearly through the wall. Oh. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my goodness. So, he said that they were shit-talking their Hella, saying buy better cheats. I wonder when they end up going Hella, like who's gonna be the Hella? They're just teleporting? Oh, better yet, like you'll watch when they go in the sky, they're not actually down here half the time. Watch where they fly up. You'll see the shots come from there. See it again? So like they're technically up here. That's where their POV is right now. Oh. Wait, now the other guy went Hella. Wait, so he said this guy was cheating? Said buy better cheats to him? No, this guy's not cheating. Wait, so this random cheater was just hardcore egoing this poor other Celestial player, telling him to buy better cheats?
Healing. Why would I
Hang on, I want to see if they end up going up against each other again. Where are they going? What's happening?
Better watch your back.
Splendid.
Oh, he kills him! Oh, he kills him! That's why! The drama.
I am barely harmed.
Hello? Hello?
Splendid. Render me assistance.
I'm gonna assume they were just typing at each other, because I don't think this guy's cheating. No. 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 I don't think so. Is the other guy back yet? Dude, this guy I think took like the longest route known to man because I think he's still. Bro, look at this guy. Oh, look at this fucking pedestrian looking ass. You can literally put the like took the longest fucking route known to man to get back. Jesus. Okay, let me go back to the guy real quick. No, this guy wasn't cheating. I think he killed him a single time. Yeah. I think he literally killed him a single time, so then he accused him of cheating. He got him again! The drama! Oh my god, he smoked him again! Wait. Wait, that wasn't like that. No, he's not. I thought he shot at the Loki because when he peeked back up, but he didn't actually shoot at the Loki. So he just hit someone else. Yeah, so he no. So, what the fuck is this? Hang on. What in the actual shit? What is this guy up to? Oh my mother of Christ. So so okay, for those who don't know, he's up here, that's why. He's like frozen up here, but his character model is gonna keep flying. Watch. Why does he have the shotgun now? What is this fucking bum doing? Did he go back? Wait, he did actually end up going back. Wait, where does he unfreeze? He unfreezes somewhere in there. Dude, guys struggle in a Celestial lobby even with the cheats. And rage hacking. Hello? Bro, why do you have a shotgun now? Hang on, where is his shots technically? I think he's still in the air, right? Yeah, he's like technically still up here somewhere. I think. It's like when the Venom jumps in.
Out of sight.
Yeah, you can see it. It's right here. He's still in this spot, technically. Okay.
Out of sight.
What kind of cheat is this? All of them. All of them. It's multiple choice question. All of the above. Yes. Wait, how is he shotgunning people from this far away? Is he still in that same spot? He is. Oh, because he's just fully headshotting him, just full directs. I think that Loki was probably low HP, right? Oh, because he two taps him. It's just all headshot every single time. Yeah, they can't even see him. He's actually hardcore abusing the fact that his player model's way over here somewhere, so he can't actually see him. Where's the other Hella doing? What's this guy been up to? How do you deal with this?
Oh, I'm fine.
What did he die to?
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
The Thor pushed him? Poor guy. Oh, they're probably typing at each other. Right? Is that what was happening here? Like right here?
Who is more immortal than I?
Yeah, they're just typing at each other, probably shit talking. Yeah, if this guy was cheating, I feel like he would know that his actual thing is right here and would shoot at him. That's why, yeah, that's this guy. It's just an actual legitimate Celestial player bumping into a lobby with. Dude, it looks so goofy. Looking at the Punisher fly by. It's actually so fucking goofy.
We are in this.
So this is the kill we just witnessed, by the way. Where the hella died. This is what was happening. This is what's happening in the game. And they know the Spidey's over here. Oh, stops to shit talk probably again.
Stop them in their tracks.
Yep, they're gonna pause themselves up in the air again there. That way you can't see him. Yeah. So this guy literally has learned how to abuse the cheats like as hard as they can. They're actually min-maxing the cheats because the momentum will keep traveling with the zip line, and so their body will keep flying off the map constantly. So it's almost impossible to know where he is. Especially mid-game, like you'd have to know how this cheat works. What? Bro, look where he is. Did you see him, chat? Look at him. Look at this. Look at this from this POV. See, he's over here. Back again. He's unlimited shotgun range. Fuck are you? What do you do? What do you do against this? He is hard targeting the hella, yeah.
Your powers are
Judge,
mine.
jury,
Oh boy.
executioner.
Double kill.
Wait, what?
Disappear.
Bring on the
Judge, jury, executioner.
Double kill. That's wow, 4 in a row.
Night, night, mope.
I thought you couldn't kill with Punisher ult through support ults. What?
Oh, I'm fine.
Wait. All headshots? No, I think it's more sinister. I think it's all headshots. And I think they're actually pumping up the amount of shots they're doing per time. I feel like they're putting out extra bullets. Am I crazy?
Oh, I'm fine.
Can you do that?
This time I need healing.
No, maybe not. I don't know.
Bring on the
Judge, jury, executioner.
Yeah, the real question is, how is this fun though? Real question. I don't get how this is enjoyable. Where's I think it's the first time I've seen this wall exploded. They're all like, you can see they're like low-key experimenting to see what angle he can see. Poor Spider-Man. What did that poor Spider-Man see? I want to see his POV.
I outnumber you.
Just disappears.
I've got you covered.
I require some.
Wait, did he turn it off? What's going on here?
Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me.
He turns it off to reset his positioning again? Yep, he reset it back up to another spot.
Double kill.
Another bump in the road.
Seems like living.
Dude, and they're running it down. Why are you guys running them down? What is going on? Guys, hello? You clearly have...
Only 60 seconds left.
Guys, your Punisher's 21-2, and on your team you see he's jumping off the map. With 17 final hits. Hello? Why are you guys running it down?
We've got trouble.
You get away.
Yeah, this isn't like, yeah. I mean, goal with have no awareness. If this is like, it's kind of sad actually. No draw? No offer to draw? What is happening? Did you guys just see the 5K that just popped off?
Your powers are mine.
He literally just killed all of them through their ult. Through invisible mode ult.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man. Your powers are mine.
I guess the healing hadn't ticked yet. Maybe. Can you not see him?
The final 10 seconds.
Jesus Christ. That's insane. Alright, what happens on the attack?
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Oh, the Spidey goes for the typical Spidey pull him off the map.
4, 3, 2. All you need to do is capture the mission area.
Spidey POV.
Got it?
Poor guy gets fucking drive-by'd.
Discover Aunt May's cherry
The
pie
battle starts
dimension.
in 5, 4, 3, 2. All you need to do is capture the mission
Poor
area.
guy.
Got it?
Heads up, hostiles.
So yeah, they're actually giving him an Invisible Woman shield? That's crazy work. They're giving him the... Nah, that's insane. You absolutely know for a fact that this guy is hardcore fucking cheating. And you're gonna give him the rocket team up so he can just go fucking crazy?
Double KO. That's 3. Help get that vehicle to its destination. Let's go. Wow, 4 in a row.
That's gross. That's actually gross. Now I'm curious.
2, 1.
I'm a little curious. So we know this person's banned for 1,000,000 years. I'm just gonna check. Yes. Yes. Penalty already in effect. Right profile. When was this sent in? This was sent in... Reach... 323. 323. All of T'Challa. That's the game. No. Okay, so they don't actually team up with them. They definitely just take their win, though. That's gross. That's gross, but at least the guy got banned, but that's still weird. Anyways, the cheats in fucking Rivals are wild. Like, way more wild than they were in Overwatch. That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. Dunscap Kitty, thank you for the tier 1. Appreciated. Sorry, I was responding to something real quick that's important. Let me unmute alerts. Cynical Ploy, thank you the Prime. Dunscap Kitty, thank you the tier 1. Hello, my name is Courtney, thank you the fresh tier 1. And Loco Gringo, thank you for the super chat. I don't know, maybe. Probably not for a little bit though, because I think codes reset tomorrow. Alright. Okay. I need to run to the bathroom really quick. When I get back, though, I think we're done with... Rivals content stuff, I believe. Right? I think that was all my stuff. Which means... we could do some hardcore Minecraft. Keep it going. Alright, chat, I'll be back in 2 minutes. BRB. All right. I'm back. Chat. I think it's time. Tomorrow is the Rivals new season. So... let me see.
Do you think a match rating system should be implemented to help control the quality in ranks? In FIFA, you get a match rating on how well you played overall, not just by scoring goals and...
Well, that's what your thing is. Like, you get points for how you performed, and you're gonna get actually more points or less points next season. Like, they're making it more dramatic. They're making it more dramatic. Thank you again, Elf. Appreciate the 15 months. So like right now, let's say if you do really well, you get an extra like 3 points or 4 points. Like next season, you'll probably get like 6 or 7 or more. I just saw your message, Chompy. I agree. What kind of a nut cold calls people on Discord? True. What the fuck is that? Dude, just randomly cold calling someone on Discord has got to be the craziest thing I've ever seen. That's insane. All right. Okay, so here's where we're at, chat. Tomorrow's the Rivals new season. I don't really want to play. Just like end of season games. I'd rather literally do anything else. Retro, I think I need a thumbnail for Minecraft, by the way. Do I have one? No, I don't. I need one. You're here.
Here's an interesting discussion before we swap. For cheaters in Overwatch, VAR is always the go-to win against them. Who would you say is the best anti-cheater hero in Rivals? All I can think of is Moon Knight or Dagger for the auto-aim to find their hitbox to shoot it, and Loki Adam for survivability.
There isn't. Because of the auto, because of the hitbox thing. That would make it so hard. The only thing I could think of is you just hard stack tanks. You do group mag. Group mag, Strange, maybe even Penny, actually. Group mag, Strange, Penny would probably be really good. Just like fucking beef, and you just make it really difficult for them. Maybe like a quad tank, 2 support type of deal. But yeah. Say I made one at some point. We haven't used it. What are you talking about? I did use that one. Yo, hey, it's right there. I did. But yeah. No, all good, all good. All right, so here's how it's gonna go. YouTube, streaming is gonna go down for you guys. Because streaming multiple games on YouTube is weird. It confuses the algorithm, it confuses chatters, it confuses viewers. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end the YouTube stream. It's going to go down for like 2 minutes, and then it will come back. So you're going to have to like refresh the page / refresh the channel. It will come back on. But if you don't want to watch any hardcore Minecraft, I've been playing it a bunch. I'm on like day 8 or part 8. That's okay. No problems. Understandable. Oh, I did have one more thing I wanted to watch from Rivals, actually. Ooh, do I do that? Shit. Okay, you know what? I might have debated. Small debate. While Retro works on the thumbnail, I do have one more thing. I kind of debated you. Before that. My bad. I kind of debated. I forgot I had this. Shit.
Oh no, streamer is now a Minecraft YouTuber.
Thinking through your bits. Well, Retro works on a thumbnail. I was gonna restart the YouTube stream with Minecraft. And then I was closing out of tabs, and I realized that of my 9 million tabs up here, I went, wait a minute. Oh shit! I was supposed to do this one today, and it's a video from Spylo. Because we don't know Spylo, he's a coach from Overwatch. Cool dude, really cool dude. Should check him out. Actually, I don't think he gets enough credit. But he made this video saying, "I'm done with Marvel Rivals for now." And I thought that was really interesting because he normally has really good takes, really good things that I typically agree with. Typically like good insight. So I'm interested to see why he's saying he's moving on, or not playing it anymore. And I have a feeling I know what it's going to be, or at least some of the things. I think he probably thinks some of the heroes are not designed well. I think he thinks some of the gameplay loops are not great, / like maybe low skill potentially. No, it's not April Fool's. Actually, was it April Fool's? No, it was the day before April Fool's, March 31st. Yeah, I figured we could watch it. 30-minute video though. Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind. I don't have anything I'm going to do tonight, so fuck it. We'll do Minecraft after though, I promise. All right, so Spylo made this video. Let's watch it.
Nothing short of a cultural phenomenon. At least Marvel Rivals has been nothing short of a cultural phenomenon, at least within the hero shooter genre.
Also, yeah, I asked him. He said he was cool with me watching it.
And something that we haven't really seen since 2020 with the release of Valorant. But despite that, I am planning on moving on for the most part for now. And while this is mostly a personal decision, not a recommendation, I do think it's important for me to clarify why. Not just for some hopefully constructive criticism of the game, but also to hopefully help explain some of the reasons why people within my gaming demographic just haven't really stuck with it. First off, I think it's important to clarify who I am. My name is Spylo. I am a
my gaming demographic. I mean, I guess there is a good. I have seen a lot of Overwatch people go back to Overwatch, even if they liked playing Rivals a little bit. But I have my own reasons, or at least a reason why I think that happens.
Professional Overwatch coach. I've been coaching Overwatch League all the way down to bronze players for 7 years. And Marvel Rivals was really the first Overwatch competitor that I actually really enjoyed. It's an actual hero shooter compared to Valorant and Apex that just feel like shooters with a couple of extra abilities. It feels like there's a team emphasis on this game. And I've spent over 200 plus hours playing, coaching, and analyzing the game from alpha, beta, and invitational closed beta. And live, climbing to Grandmaster myself with a positive win rate on a couple of different characters. I say all this knowing that obviously I haven't really scratched the surface of what this game can really provide at the highest level, so this is going to be
Spylo, please brush your hair. Hey, listen, man, I relate so hard. Like, dude, I don't think a lot of people understand when you're a content creator or a streamer, bro, you're in your own house. I dress super comfy. I couldn't care any less about clothes. I couldn't care any less about hair, right? Like, if I'm going out or I have to go out to do something, it looks so different, right? Like, I always have, my hair is like typically more up. I have like other shirts that I'll sometimes wear out. But a lot of time, actually, you know what's funny is I used to bring my other nicer clothes to like Spotlight / like Overwatch events. And then I realized like I probably don't even look like myself wearing other stuff. So I just started bringing my default stuff. And I was like, fuck it. It ends up looking, it's like same shirt. It looks like normal me, I guess. At least to most people. But yeah, dude, most of the time, who cares, right? Like, it's like, dude, you want to be comfy at home.
Perspective, but from a semi-interested, semi-competitive player, and somebody that is just invested in the competitive side of really any game that I've ever touched. Before I get a little bit too detailed here, I am going to tell one little anecdote here. There's a message within my Discord that I want to read, and it really clarifies, I think, some of the history surrounding the heroes genre competitive side of things, and maybe just the political headspace of gaming as a whole. The Marvel Rival versus Overwatch stuff is giving me a lot of deja vu of the old TF2 versus Overwatch discussions back in 2016.
True.
Back then, I stuck with TF2 because I found myself having more fun in that game as opposed to Overwatch. But back then, a lot of TF2 content creators and players who were burned out on the game were quite happy to jump ship to Overwatch. This caused a great deal of animosity.
I talked to Siegel about this. I'm going to let this finish first, but I actually, because I wasn't around, I asked for his opinion and tell me like the history. Because like Siegel's like an old book, you know? Okay, I'm not trying to call him old, but like, you know what I mean? Like, he's just like a history book, and like I can go reference, be like, hey, can you tell me the history of this?
Animosity between the two game communities, where people who played Overwatch said that TF2 was an old relic that people needed to move on from, and people who still play TF2 said that Overwatch just doesn't have that special something that makes TF2 so great. As someone who was very deeply invested in TF2 during this time, a lot of that animosity was built on fear that TF2 is becoming less relevant, and that people didn't see or appreciate how amazing this game is, especially for new players who were gravitating towards Overwatch over TF2. Many criticisms of Overwatch at that time was that it dumbed down the more accessible game, which is the same thing happening today. People who stuck with TF2 would point to the game's more complex movement text like rocket jumping and contrast that to heroes like Freja, who just press one button to do a more limited and what felt like to many TF2 players at the time a less nuanced version of the same mechanic. Can you think of any similar arguments made towards Marvel Rivals? And I think this one was
You know, I went and confided in Siegel when Rivals came out because I was like, Mr. Gull, I'm having a crisis. I want to play Rivals and I want to play Overwatch. But I'm having this crisis where every time I play Overwatch, my Rivals people are getting mad. And every time I play Rivals, my Overwatch people get mad. And I'm also having this crisis where if I play too much Rivals, the Overwatch people think I've abandoned it. Help. And he told me that he was not a content creator back then, but he told me stories of other content creators. Some that literally never went back to TF2 because how the community had turned on them and was really, really aggressive. Like to the point where like they genuinely, I'm not gonna say names, but there was like content creators in the TF2 space at the time that like literally now at like are always say like I would never go near that community because of how scary toxic it became. But it was just to them at that time, you know, like obviously history can repeat itself, but also it can change over time, right? Like people can change or like communities don't remain the same. But you know, I went to him and I was like, dude, how do I deal with that? And he was like, dude, like it's spooky. It's really tough to do. But it was basically his thing is like, it will calm down with time. Like give it a little time. It'll calm down. And it did. He was 100% right. He was like, just give it a little time. Cause like I felt bad because like I was just enjoying Rivals and I knew that you wouldn't enjoy like the honeymoon phase would eventually pass and everyone knew it was going to pass. I just wanted to enjoy it until then. And that doesn't mean I just hated Overwatch. It just means I just didn't want to play it at the moment. I wanted to play something else. Plus I also knew about the other stuff. You know what I mean? I knew about Spotlight. Like I knew about that stuff. Like, you know what I mean? I knew about that stuff way in advance. So like, it's hard to go play something when I know like good stuff's on the horizon. You know what I mean? So it's like, then I can't even say anything about that either. So it's like, now it's like a double fuck. And it really, really was a bit of an eye opener. Because a lot of people who stuck with Overwatch said all these things about same things as in there is about Rivals. And it will probably happen again another day in the future. But you know, I gotta say, I'm gonna let, because Spylo wants to make a point about like, he's probably gonna make a point about content creators and stuff like that. I wanna say, I'm very proud, not just myself, but other creators, of how everyone kind of really hard pushed the notion of just play whatever the fuck you want. I have to say, it's very rare that creators or communities are united on something without any type of communication, right? Like you don't like talk to your friends like, hey, we should all talk about this. Like that almost never happens, but if it did, everyone's kind of like pushed the narrative like, hey, just play whatever the fuck you want. Like play what you want, genuinely. If you don't want to play one, play the other, like whatever it is. And I think that narrative stuck. And I think now that here we are in April, I don't get nearly as many people that pop into my chat and go, why aren't you playing Overwatch today? Or like, fuck Rivals, play Overwatch. And when I play Overwatch, I don't get nearly as many why no Rivals people. You know what I mean? Like it still happens, but way less. So I just want to say, I'm happy for us.
Just such an interesting and insightful post. Unfortunately, I wasn't really a TF2 fan and was not really invested in the hero shooter genre at the time, so I'm gonna have to take this chatter's word at face value here, but I'm sure many people would back that experience up, and it lines up with my experience with Overwatch. Even though we still have some of those...
Oh, I forgot to mute alerts, my bad.
Can't wait to watch Eureka Stadium mode on the April 14th.
Yo,
Go Flats Nation.
Thank you, 32 months. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you, buddy.
Old Overwatch 1 relic characters like Mercy, characters like Junkrat, Bastion, and so on. Without exception, all of those characters have actually been increased in terms of the skill expression they can provide, both the skill floor and the skill ceiling of what you can actually do with the characters. And honestly, while Overwatch Classic was a fun little side quest for me for a couple of hours, I really got bored because of how little skill expression and how few interesting things you could do with the old game. While there was a lot of flash and explosive things to do, ultimately the depth of the game just meant that it wasn't something that I wanted to go back and play again. So ironically, while it was a game that I initially fell in love with, it was not a game that I would have grown up with if it had not matured along with a community that played it. And this
aren't the winners kids mostly? I don't see how adults cannot understand that you want to do something else. You're probably right. But that's kind of the problem with social media sometimes is you can have two people. One person's a 14-year-old. One person is a Harvard grad, like 45 years old, working in a field for 20 years. And their opinions are weighed the same. So it's like, you could have someone who you think is super, super mature and super smart, but you also have someone else in the room that also, like, they're just both saying things on top of each other. They're being reread back to back. They get weighed as people read them in a lot of the same ways. But also, there's another part of that, is adults are a lot more whiny than you think. Like, I think some of the most aggressive whiny people I've ever met are adults. The thing about the kids is they'll give you like the unhinged, like they'll just like make fun of you or say something fucked up and then they just move on, right? The adults will pursue, they'll chase, they're the ones that will keep coming at you or keep coming back. Kids move on most of the time.
This is ultimately where I find myself in some similarities to Marvel Rivals. Comparing Overwatch Classic to Marvel Rivals is definitely not a one-to-one analogy. Marvel Rivals.
Oh, I'm not talking about just Twitter. I could have referred to TikTok. I could have referred to YouTube. I could have referred to anything.
Significantly more complicated individual hero kits. There's a lot more buttons to push.
Actually, TikTok's a great example. Like, you always see like some random TikTok comment, which is always like XY thing, like fuck this person, right? And it happens to every single creator, whether it is like they go after their appearance, they go after their skill, they go after their gender, the way they look, they go after the way they talk, whatever it might be. Like they'll pick one thing and like that'll be just like the common theme on all of their stuff. But like those people don't care enough to go after them like every single day. It's just like a rotates through. Like you might see them like once every 6 months, you know?
A lot more nuance. But ultimately, I find many of my complaints about the gameplay loop and the game design to be a lot of the same. Big, explosive, flashy moments, but without the same depth that Overwatch 2 currently has. So it gives me some level of comfort here, not just because we've been here before, but also for many of my gripes, spoiler alert, with Marvel Rivals, there's going to be a lot of hope that this game can actually evolve in the same way that Overwatch did, and hopefully without a lot of the drama. Ultimately, while Overwatch is...
If you're talking PvE drama, hopefully. Talking about community drama, I'm not so sure.
Corporate feet more.
Actually, scalding hot take. Twitch Rivals did massive damage to Rivals. Massive. All of the more casual streamers and content creators don't play the game anymore. They're all fucking gone. They literally, I don't want to say they despise the game, but there's a common theme. Wait, how? Oh, if you didn't hear about Twitch Rivals drama, there was so much Twitch Rivals drama. I specifically was asked to be a captain and I sat out because I have played these games before and I knew it was going to be like that. Basically, you're only allowed like 1 or 2 really good players on your team. People wanted to build stack teams. We're trying to find ways through loopholes by like, let me get a pro player from Apex who hasn't played much Rivals, so their account is lower than whatever, but they're going to be mechanically really good. I can put them on hella, you know what I mean? And so everyone's doing all these things. So then they start making rule changes and Twitch Rivals is trying to make better teams and they start shuffling the teams and they put certain people on certain teams and then they go, oh shit, that team's too stacked, and they move them, but they move the wrong people. The people aren't even stacked. It was like Sekuno. And so people go, what the fuck is wrong with you? You put that person on that team and now you kick them off that team. That's so weird. And so multiple people had to sit out, had to let their teams just play without them. And then certain teams got fucking shit on because they didn't have many good players. Some players had stacked teams. And so Dokibird got screwed. Yeah, I mean, I think Dokibird's team won though, because like their team was insanely good, right? And so the point I'm trying to make is that it was supposed to be more of like a fun thing, you know, where everyone gets to play and has a good time. But unfortunately, when money's on the line, stuff like that, people want to min-max, and then people kind of ruin it. That's just what happens. And so, unfortunately, I think it turned a lot of them off from the game, and like you've legitimately not seen most of them ever play it again. Go look. Hey, tell me I'm wrong. I haven't seen many of the more casual big streamers or content creators touch the game since. It's more of like the committed gamer streamers, hero shooter players, games from other games that are struggling a little bit, like your Apex or Valorant and stuff like, or Call of Duty. And hey, the Call of Duty just released Verdansk, so a lot of the COD streamers went back to COD. They might come back again, but tell me I'm wrong.
More than once. It has, at the point now, developed a pretty interesting, nuanced, and fun game, at least for me. There's a lot of depth, there's a lot more nuance, objectively, in terms of how characters and the macro of the game is able to express itself. And ultimately, for my demographic of what I'm interested in, that is what keeps me playing. And I do believe that Rivals has that same ceiling, especially when you're considering the passionate developers that Rivals have. So while
I know you're talking about communities, aren't all gaming communities just bad? What? Oh no! Oh yeah! No! But I knew specifically with Twitch Rivals in a hero shooter game, it would be very bad. Like in other games, you can kind of make it work depending on like what's going on there. Like Apex, for example, is actually pretty good at doing Twitch Rivals these days.
I don't know if Rivals is going to evolve in the way that I want it to. I do have hope that they can.
I wasn't trying to like specifically say Marvel Rivals community really bad. Ooh, like no, that's not what I was trying to get at. Like I was just saying like Twitch Rivals did damage because it made a lot of people that were like kind of getting into the game turned off to it. That's all.
And even if they don't go in the direction that I personally want them to go, it will still not only be a fun experience, but a game of choice for a lot of people. So let's start the video of the Rise.
You want to know why I did that? I'll tell you the reason. Rust does really well. Well, what Rivals does a lot of Twitch Rivals does is they bring in content creators or well-known people in the community that know how to handle tournaments and know how to run things. Marvel Rivals did not do that. There was no poster. There was no headliner for the event. And because when you don't have a headliner or somebody who's knowledgeable about the game and about the community, shit goes fucking south. Because like if you bring in like let's say we play Overwatch, right? And I would say I was the Twitch Rivals Overwatch guy, and then I can look at like say Emong. I know Emong would never do this, but I can use Emong as an example. Be like, hey Emong, why do you have 3 pro players on your team on alt accounts? Hey, I know who those players are. Let's get that cleaned up. You know what I mean? Rivals has no clue.
And fall of Marvel Rivals, at least for me. First off, we'll start off with some of the good things, and there's a lot of good things that Rivals did well, and I'm going to start with no particular order here. First off, the DPS hero variety. This game has like, so many different DPS characters that do so many different
Apex.
Melee characters, combo characters, unique fun designs, poke, hybrid mobility, Mr. Fantastic, Winter Soldier, Spider-Man, Magic, and Black Panther. These are characters that are not only good in their own right, but in contrast to many of the Overwatch characters, they can actually compete, if not supersede, the ability to just express skill in so many different directions. I find myself impressed at the amount of DPS characters that really stuck with me, considering that I was more of a tank and support player in Overwatch. Hero bans are phenomenal and really put emphasis on the ability of allowing players to control their own lobbies.
Hero bans
public
does so much.
And spectating.
Hero bans does so much heavy lifting for Rivals. Like it does so much.
Amazing cool thing that I never even thought of, and Overwatch absolutely needs to implement this. In-game tournaments, public win rate and pick rate stats, which Overwatch absolutely needs to do. Hero progression, ranked rewards such as getting different skins depending on what rank you finished with the previous season. Team ups encouraging team play. Some criticisms of that, more on that later. Third-person POV for a different perspective, showing off the skin. The IP is very strong. There's very fast matchmaking. There's more expansive hero kits, something that I hope will continue to influence Overwatch moving forward. The perma battle pass, the soundtrack is actually pretty sick as well.
This isn't Rise and Fall of Marvel Rivals. It's just a creator from Overwatch who said he's done Rivals for now and just talking about his reasoning.
Something that is definitely partly a criticism.
Oh, because of what I was talking about? it's end of season. That always happens. I bet tomorrow you see it go fucking crazy.
It has an upside too, which is the maximum dopamine and uptime of a lot of team fights. Compared to Overwatch, where there's a little bit more of downtime, there's just a lot more going on for a lot longer in Marvel Rivals, and that definitely has its upsides. And so while this video is going to be more on the criticism side of things.
Oh, this section's called Rise and Fall? Oh, I apologize then. I didn't realize this one was called Rise and Fall. I thought it was just like their perspective of why it's good and bad for them. Because that's what it is. I don't think it's like
It's about what's not keeping me.
I don't think it's like
in
the rise and fall
I do think
Rivals.
That
I think it's
are
like
at least worth mentioning
why it's good for them. I didn't realize. My bad. I apologize.
But that Rivals did uniquely well and better than other games. Not everything has to be a comparison, but ultimately, when we judge something, we often judge it off of a standard. That standard may be CS, Overwatch, League of Legends, or anything else, depending on what genre we're comparing it to. And Rivals just did it really well. And not only were those things good in the Rivals side of things, but they made me think more about like, oh, all the other games that I play, what if they implemented those things too? Ultimately, without Rivals really breaking the ground in so many different aspects,
he did say it was a rise and fall for him.
For evolution for some of the other games that we love. Now, all that being said, we really do have to kind of crunch down here about why Rivals hasn't really stuck with me as time has gone on. And those two things are mostly game design and competitive integrity. And the game design one is going to take a little while to get through, and we're going to break it down to a couple of categories.
Oh yeah.
But first off, we'll just give an overview
this could be a long
of what I mean
one
by game design. And what I mean by that is like, what is the way that the game is being played? If I try to explain a game like Overwatch, a lot of it is about resource trades from different positions and from different angles that lead to advantages that lead to one team fights. Obviously, that expression comes through cooldown management, ultimate management, and mechanics, but there's a lot of positioning nuance in the game because of the amount of mobility, space, angles, flanks, and even little things like passive heal that allow for a lot more creativity in how you can position yourself, especially in comparison to Overwatch 1. For me, Rivals just felt a lot more focused on the raw damage and the raw sustain and the cooldown trades, the layering, so to speak, and there was less emphasis on the angles and space. Space is always important for any first-person shooter, anything, honestly.
I think that's why it's more digestible.
Even just competitive games as a whole. Space.
I also think that'll get min-maxed to the point where it'll catch up with time. Like give it another like few months, it'll be just like
very
watching
important
that
concept.
aspect.
However, due to the fact of just how important raw damage and raw healing was and how punishing it can be to take different creative angles, ultimately that nuance that Overwatch evolved into over the years just fell off for me with Rivals. The raw amount of healing that you could do, the raw amount of damage that you could do, even flankers on poor supports, felt like it was designed to create a massive uptime, a lot of dopamine, a lot of engagement, but potentially at the expense of competitive integrity and creative expression. You can even look at the example of characters like Jeff, whose primary fire healing is honestly ultimate level when compared to anything that what Overwatch can do, almost 2 times the amount of Mercy's healing beam. And when I was confronted with this, I honestly couldn't believe it. You marry that with characters like Moon Knight that could just vomit out damage with almost no risk whatsoever, and ultimately that's kind of how a lot of the DPS and healer design in Marvel Rivals feels. I think my concern with this was that could we not just nerf this? Could we not just nerf healing, nerf damage? But then I came across a problem here that if we nerfed healing too much, then we wonder if tanks would be able to keep themselves alive at any point.
Oh, I wonder if Spylo heard my take on it, because that was kind of my line of thinking, actually. That's why when everyone was talking about nerfing supports, I was like, I don't know, guys. I'd be careful with that one.
You see a lot
that's
of
really interesting.
Big hulking masses of.
I wonder if he ever heard my take on that, or if he just came to the same conclusion.
Flash, even when they're dive tanks, and I wonder that if there's even an option to nerf sustain, if they did that, would
We've played
DPS
these games
characters not
before.
just completely run over everything on the cast? And this brings me to my problem here: is I feel that this is by design. I don't necessarily think this is a balance problem. This seems exactly how the game was designed, and so to change this, there'd have to be a monumental rework of how the characters and how the game functions as a whole. And I just don't think that that's likely to happen. And to piggyback off of that, I think that the ease and the accessibility of many of the DPS and support ults really confirms this for me. If you look at the ult design in Marvel Rivals, a lot of it is just glut of healing, glut of sustain, glut of damage in an AoE area, and that's basically it. There are very few utility individual ultimates that can provide different things.
Wait, I said that on the SVB podcast about how supports are just all healing in a circle, and so many people got mad at me. Speak the fucking truth.
It's mostly just a lot of damage that, if not responded to with the support ult, is going to result in a lot of kills. And while that's very satisfying for big casual team wipes, 4Ks, 5Ks, and so on, and then obviously for support, it's just really important that you keep your team alive, so you need a lot of sustain. Again, the gameplay loop, the nuance, the complexity just isn't there for me. I'm not saying that necessarily the DPS heroes are easy to play, or support heroes are easy to play. They all have their skill expressions, they all have their ceilings. A lot of the skill expression is hitting those timing windows perfectly, and I think that's cool. But ultimately, from a gameplay loop on the neutral, outside of the ultimates, I just don't find the same level of creativity that really sticks with me with Overwatch. This is layered with a couple of other minor complaints. There's still no passive heal in this game. When you're out of combat, you're completely reliant off of health packs and healers. There's a lot of inconsistency.
I feel like I feel like I'm listening to like me from like 2 months ago. Like, remember, dude, I talked about how this game could potentially use out of combat healing, potentially like a very light one, just a healing passive, like after 5 seconds of not taking damage, you slowly heal, very slowly heal. People are like, no, absolutely fucking not, which is fine. I'm totally down with not going that route, right? I'm totally fine with it, okay? But I'm just telling you, as someone who has played these games before, it doesn't feel like it's broken. You only really notice it for yourself, and realistically, it only happens when you're not in a fight. That's all. Yo, thank you, big super chat. Sorry, I have alerts off for this right now. Thank you, big 10. Over 5K hours in Overwatch 1 and 2. Other than a stale map pool, Rivals still feels good / fresh after 300 plus hours. Appreciate the 10. Oh yeah, I know, I don't disagree. Again, you know what's funny? As I agree with the maps. I'm actually with you completely all the way. The reason why the whole passive heal thing, you could make it like 10 seconds if you really wanted to, right? That just makes it so that you're somewhat healed up before your supports come back, right? Not saying they even should. I'm just leaving it as like a possibility. And it's funny that he brings it up because it was something that I've mentioned as a potential. Hey, this actually felt good in the past, right? I know whenever they added the passive out of combat heals when Overwatch started to feel way more TDM-y than hero shooter based, I don't believe that in any way, shape, or form, because that was what season was that added? 9, because it was way before that. The support had out of combat healing since the launch of the game, but that was their passive, and I'd argue the 5v5 format made it more of that. I wouldn't say there was a big difference when it was implemented versus not implemented. It's one of the few changes of the game implemented that most people are like, hell yeah, this was good, you know? Regardless though, I don't mind either way. I'm just saying, like, it's funny that he brings that up as an option, because it's like, or as a thing that the reason why he doesn't like it, or it is one of his negatives, because like this is something that I was kind of like, I don't actually mind that idea. I think it would actually kind of work here. And most people are like, no!
Out of combat, you're completely
So I wonder if people will grow on the idea in long term.
Off of health packs and healers. There's a lot of inconsistency on available flank routes because of the map design. There's an inconsistency on support mobility, with the exception of Jeff, I suppose. So you are unable to take a lot of space as a support. Heck, they even nerfed Mantis mobility of all the things to nerf, so that there aren't a lot of supports that can help you take space, and the support's ability to take space themselves is also limited. And so it leads me to a lot of layering, more passive angles, and more frontline trades, which is to me the least interesting expression of skill within this game. Now, it brought me to an interesting analogy, something that I've talked about before, which is, can there be a lot of skill expression? Can there be a lot of interest in a very high damage, high...
What would be the role of healers if you can regen health? Well, hang on. The passive only would, at least in Overwatch, only kicks in after 5 seconds of taking no damage. So basically when it goes off, the fight's over. So it's in between fights. So imagine this, you lose a fight, right? You lose a fight, your support's died, you're 100 HP. Instead of having to run off and then everyone's sharing a single health pack that's alive, you will be full HP by the time the fight starts. So your supports will be walking back, their team will be walking up, but you won't have to go back and hide and wait for your supports to come back while the fight's over, waiting to get healed back up. That's basically, it's like an in-between fights mechanic.
High sustain kind of setup, and I actually think that there is. Let me tell you a little story here. I used to play a lot of Lord of the Rings online, unorganized 6v6. So they're unofficial 6v6 tournaments we would do, bad guys versus good guys. I'm not going to get so much into that.
This is some lore.
But ultimately, that game was pretty imbalanced from a healing and raw damage standpoint. There was a lot of easy damage available and a lot of easy healing available. But what ended up happening from the macro of the high-level play was the timing of debuffs and buffs. Basically, you had the opportunity to synchronize pressure on debuffs like a Warg Puddle or a incoming heal debuff, or
95% of people that play this game have one team fight all game, so it's a wild concept for them. Good point.
A stun inside of a puddle, and then the defenders would have to utilize a defensive bubble or a defensive cooldown and preparation for it. And if you could scout that the setup was happening, because it took about 10 seconds to get the debuff timing. So there's a lot of skill in actually setting up for those one-shot plays.
We're not talking about balance
to deny the enemy healing and or being aware of those things. And so for me, while it wasn't necessarily the most fun thing of all time, it was still more fun and from a macro perspective than what Rivals had, because a lot of the kill potential came from debuffs and buffs that weren't just ultimate. So in other words, there was a cycle of pressure that wasn't waiting for an ultimate to happen. There were still windows on 20, 30-second timers, and that made that game, even though the 6v6 wasn't as good as Overwatch, it still felt like there were windows of vulnerability that if you were skillful enough, you could either deny or enable, depending on which side that you're on. Ultimately, with Rivals, I don't see that's the case as much. We do have abilities like Cloak's frontline window here. I can't even remember what it's called, but it's the debuff on frontline. There's certain even crowd control like Winter Soldier's Hook or Hulk's Stun, but ultimately the difficulty and the consistency with which you're able to synchronize and utilize these abilities, it doesn't feel like that's an inherent part of the game design. Ultimately, it really just comes down to farming an ult and denying an ultimate. And this is confirmed further by the fact that, well, we've had many patches since this has been a problem in the game design and nothing's happened. There's really not been any serious attempt to nerf support ults, certainly not support ult duration. See, the main problem with support ults is not that they have a lot of healing, because that's probably necessary to deny the amount of damage, but the fact that they not only deny the damage, but then continue to deny damage for many seconds afterwards. Luna Snow is the obvious example here, but this really applies to basically every support ult that applies healing. It's just a confirmation of game design, and it leads me to be suspicious that
with Loki,
this is done
24 seconds of no
draw
death
out team fight, so there's more engagement, more uptime, and yes, more dopamine, more shooty, so to speak. There's also not been as much love or assessment of how higher skill characters, especially mobile characters, in terms of their execution. It does feel very easy to one-shot bad supports with a lot of these mobile characters, but the ceiling of what they can do in higher ranks feels like a skill check of the supports themselves, and again, there's been really no changes to help fix that problem. It's the same problem as old school Overwatch back in 2017, where Genjis and Tracers all of a sudden were denied by characters like Mercy, Brigitte, and Moira. Finally, on the design front, there.
Well, actually, Mr. Spylo, don't forget, that was what people wanted, actually, back then. People yearned for a way to deal with Tracer. They yearned for a way for this dominant hero that's been good for 9 seasons straight to not dominate the game. They yearned for this way to defeat the evil Tracer players, and thus they brought you Brig. Pick the character, hit 2 buttons, and you died. That's it. That's how that happened. Yep. That's exactly how that happened. It's funny how the solution became the biggest problem.
There is a little bit of a subjective discussion about the DPS versus tank and support design. Got a lot of criticism for early on in Rivals' careers saying that I wasn't a big fan of their tank and support design, but honestly, I'm going to stand by that one moving forward. I don't think that's broadly applicable to every tank and every support. There's a lot of tanks that are relatively interesting. Hulk, Captain America, and at times Thor do have a lot of complexity with how they're being played and a lot of interesting nuance, which I have fell in love with. They still lack significantly the same amount of skill expression and creativity in how they play compared to a lot of the other DPS. And ultimately,
I'm gonna disagree. I think tank and Overwatch has become a fat DPS over time. I really don't feel like tank and Overwatch feels like tank. I think tank and Rivals feels much more like tanking, at least like old Overwatch tanking in like what I would imagine playing tanking hero shooters is more of than in Overwatch's version. I understand what he's saying. There's definitely some nuances. I think that like I sort of disagree. Like not all of them. Like for example, like Strange Mag is probably like the easiest one. It's like they both can be frontlining shield tanks, but the way they're played is both similar and different. Where Mag can be more of like a holding frontline type of thing where you sturdy or you self bubble, you self shield. But you can also be played more as an off tank, which is more of like you always bubble your Star-Lord or you're always bubbling and enabling other people, right? While also having a strong, impactful ult, right? But you have to actually be good with that ult. You have to actually hit the ult. Same thing for Strange. Hulk is probably one of the most mechanically intensive or hard to play. Can be super rewarding. They nerfed him a little too much, though. Made it a little too hard to even get value. So, like, you just play something else. But he's getting buffed again. So he'll probably be better again. Thing is, like, a great example of a tank that just, like, is, like, one-dimensional. Like, I walk up, I punch you. I punch you to death. I just go hapong, hapong, hapong. And, like, that's fun. And then you have something like Thor, which, yeah, I would say Thor is probably the closest to a fat DPS, where you just play him more of like a displacement / 1v1 brawl beat DPS type of tank. And I think all of them have a little bit of nuance to them where they can all work in their own separate ways. Even Penny has like the space denial. We haven't had like a dive meta. If we had a dive meta, I think Penny could be pretty good. But we haven't had a hard dive meta yet. We almost did. We had that 2 weeks where like Venom Spidey was getting played. I personally, shocker, find Penny a little boring. But I think Penny next season is going to actually be really fucking good. It's probably time to learn her. But like each of them at least has something to them that makes them feel different. And they all still feel like tanks. In Overwatch, you could show me a picture of Mauga and Orisa, and I would go, why are you showing me the same picture twice? You could show me a picture of Hog and Orisa, and I'd go, why are you, again, showing me the same picture twice? You show me Mauga, and you show me Hog. I'm like, what? Bro, can you stop showing me the same fucking pictures? What's going on here? Right? The only time you get into really, like, differentiating characters are probably, like, your Winstons, your Rhynes, your Junker Queens. Hell, Ramatra sorta, but Ramatra's like, you know what sucks about Ramatra is Ramatra's such a cool and fun tank. Ball's a good example. Ramacho's such a fun and cool tank, but the only time he's ever good is when he's like buffed and strong. And when he's buffed and strong, it's so fucking boring. Like people hate playing against and with Ramacho when he's strong. Like if you don't have like Ramacho's not strong, he's the fucking coolest tank. Like he does so many things. But then if two Ramachos are like, because you play the mirror, you just sit there and you're just like. And the most fun part is sitting there in the non-punch form, which is like not supposed to be like the fun part of the kit. You know what I mean? And just kind of, you know what I mean? I don't know. But so I actually still disagree with the tank take a lot.
I find that to be true even more so with support. See, a lot of people like to say to me, "Oh, well, you haven't played."
Okay, support. I think he has a point.
Learn to love it, and there's a lot of nuance. And
but I actually like that support isn't DPS heavy in Rivals. Maybe I'm wrong in that. But I actually think one of the biggest problems Overwatch has caused is making every support a mini DPS. And so what's ended up happening, especially with the 5v5 format, is that both the supports are looking at each other, like the other one will heal the tank, and now they're both DPSing. Like how many times, like, yo, raise your hand. You ever played Overwatch before? And you played tank or DPS, and you're sitting there looking for healing, and both your supports are on the flank, dueling people and looking for damage? It's happened to everyone. It's a universal fucking experience. Doesn't happen in Rivals very much.
You know, Loki could do all these cool things and this and that. But with the exception of Jeff, who I think can hard flank a little bit, the amount of different positions and different playstyles that are actually viable and optimal are just isn't there. It reminds me a lot of early Lifeweaver play before we got a lot of reworks in Overwatch where people were saying, oh, you're just not.
Oh, I don't know about that one. I disagree with that a lot.
The world couldn't make the character work. There was just hard limitations with what was actually good with the character. And I'm sorry, Gold, Plat, and I guess Grandmaster.
Unless he's meaning like carry potential and support, maybe he has a point.
Players in Marvel Rivals can't tell me otherwise. Now, Lifeweaver has received a lot of changes since then, have added depth, nuance, and strength to his kit that allow different creative playstyles. There's a lot of
you want to be a good support player in Rivals. You learn how to ult, like when to ult, and then you'll be fucking Chris. You'll be
an interesting Grandmaster.
The best player in the world.
But that's because of the character, how he's designed to evolve over the last couple of years, not how he was initially released. And ultimately with Marvel Rivals, I've seen no improvement into the support playstyle. I remember being very excited looking at how Invisible Woman's kit worked, the push, the pull, the suck, the slow, the invisibility even. But ultimately the way that she's actually played in the highest level and the low level and the mid levels doesn't allow for really much creativity at all. And before anybody says otherwise, I challenge you to pull open a professional player or a high-level player of Invisible Woman and tell me where is the creativity of how you're positioning. Where's the
creativity positioning. I was gonna say the creativity. I was gonna say it's like it's all determined on like how do you help your Hela or whatever win their off-angle fight, and you like constantly shield your off-angle DPS. Kind of how like you used to play Alari, how like you played like off-angle Alari in Overwatch when she came out. But you're not doing the damage though, you're just supporting. So like he's got a good point.
Where's the aggression? Again, it's just
but again, I like that. I'm glad it's not all DPS. I'm glad it's not all everyone's kill hungry. I'm so glad it's not that.
And ultimately a lot of the kit utility is used in a very passive manner. I found the same thing with Luna Snow, with Mantis, and with Loki too. Everyone's like, oh well, Loki you can angle around, but ultimately that's not how the character is often being played. Even the damage output of the character is situational.
Well, even if you say he needs to pick up Mantis, like his point isn't wrong, and I don't think all the support should be Mantis. That's like basically where we're at. You know what I mean?
More often than not, you're focused on
Mantis. I would say is much closer to an Overwatch support than a rival support because like she's like aggressive, does a lot of damage, a lot of like enabling, damage boosting. You know, not an insane ult, smaller ult. But I'm glad there's not many of those.
I get a lot of gaslighting from the community about this because people apparently just don't pull up high-level support play and look how it's actually being played. Farm a support ult, counter with the support ult. It's not that it's easier.
No, yeah, he's right.
It's 100%. Just not very engaging for me. And I contrast that along with some of my other tank criticisms that seem to be more brawl frontline focused, whether you're talking Groot, Doctor Strange, or Magneto. But I think you take all those tank and support things.
Mantis ult is not small. Mantis ult in comparison to the other big support ults, your Cloak and Dagger, your Visible Woman, Snow, is small. They do not. It does not have the same shut down their ability to play as those ults.
the DPS designs like Psylocke, Magic, Black Panther, Spider-Man, who is, yes, controversial, and I just don't think the comparison is very fair. I think there's been a lot more interesting nuance in how DPS characters are being implemented in Marvel Rivals, and honestly, I'm not just saying that DPS superiority here, I'm saying the support and tank players deserve more love, but ultimately, is that even possible with how the...
Maybe this is a crazy take, but I feel like unless you're talking hella Star-Lord, like DPS in Rivals is like either low-key like the best player in the lobby, like the hard carry, or the like worst player in the lobby. And I know that might sound like, well, of course. I'm like, no, like there's no in between.
Game is function. Is the game design just hard cap?
Like they're having the least impact or all the impact?
You could express with how you position, how you play is really not all that important. You see, there's a reason why people will say that Captain America would be a tank that functions so much more in Overwatch, because I look at that character and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's super fun, super cool, but ultimately you're just a tickle monster because of the amount of sustain. Does your utility even matter? I look at Mr. Fantastic. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed playing Mr. Fantastic, but ultimately it just didn't feel like my support tank DPS hybrid playstyle really did anything because of the amount of damage and sustain that was available to the game. So ultimately it just feels like some wasted designs. Heck, even Invisible Woman, who is the support character, has a phenomenal kit that just isn't really utilized because of the gameplay loop of the game. And again, the big thing isn't just how the game is released, it's how it's been developed over the last few months, and I haven't seen any of these things change. Ultimately, it really comes down to some duelists can take angles, tanks basically trade in the front line, support sit in the back and heal, and that's ultimately the gameplay loop that hasn't really changed much over the last 4 or 5 months, even going all the way back to the alpha, so almost a year now. I also
Richmond think that's tier 1. I don't actually disagree with any of that, but I don't mind either.
There's been some missed opportunities for team-ups. While I love the concept kind of encouraging team play, I don't think that they always check the box of a successful team-up for me. 2 things. Number 1, you want the team-up to be a conscious choice from the player. I think Wolverine and Hulk is a great example, Punisher, Rocket, Johnny and Storm, where you can choose to actually do the thing from both perspectives. So I'm going to choose to do this, to choose to do that. So there's active choice being implemented on both sides of the equation, which makes the engagement so much more interesting. I also think there's been some missed opportunities for team-ups. While I love the concept for encouraging team play, I do think that team-ups need to do 2 things. Number 1, be consciously chosen. In other words, you need to actually choose to utilize the team-up. And number 2, there needs to be some sort of choice from both sides of the equation, not just one person benefiting. A good example would be Wolverine and Hulk, where Wolverine is grabbed and then Wolverine is thrown. Not only is it
I see his point,
but ultimately it is something that requires a decision from both players, and if you don't use it, you're missing out. Punisher and Rocket, I think, and the Winter Soldier, the infinite ammo one, that one's maybe not the most interesting in execution, but the fact that the Rocket has to choose to place it and then the Punisher has to respond is definitely interesting. Even Johnny's Storm, where you're able to combo your ultimates, again, a choice, something that both characters have to kind of apply to. And I feel a lot of the team-ups are not only raw stat values, but even when they're not raw stat values, for example, you have Magneto and Scarlet Witches, ultimately Scarlet Witch doesn't really get any conscious choice of that. It's just a free button for Magneto to push.
I see what he's saying.
Doesn't get any extra button to push. There isn't as much engagement on both sides of the equation, is what I'm trying to say. Finally, a couple.
Yeah, it's fair. I mean, you could honestly, that applies to Overwatch right now with perks. Some characters get new buttons, some characters don't, and they recognize that, and they're going to change that to make it better. Maybe Rivals does that in the future. I think that's good. I think that's actually very valid feedback.
Well, minor nitpicks, less to do with the game design as a whole, but things that really hinder my enjoyment of the game. Map design. I know there's been a lot of mixed feedback on the value of destructible environments and interactable environments. In other words, environments that just start raining damage on you. And while I'm personally not as big of a fan of them, I think that there is a time and a place where they can be implemented fun. I don't think that they necessarily contribute that much to the enjoyment of the game, but they are.
I like destructible environments. I do not like the opposite. Destroyed environments that rebuild. The rebuild... No, sorry. They can start fine and then break and then rebuild. Don't start broken and then rebuild. That sucks. That feels ass. I like the opposite. I like start, break, rebuild. Start broken, rebuild? No. I swear, the Fantastic Four map, second point is a fucking nightmare. If you ever go up on there, it starts being reconstructed, or third point, and you're in one of those buildings, god damn it, you're gonna get fucking kidnapped. I've gotten kidnapped so many fucking times. Pisses me off. Blissful Days thinking
I suppose. My biggest problem with the map design is more of, frankly, an objective look at how maps need to be designed. You see, there's a reason that the 3-lane theory for map design has kind of been a thing for a long time, where you have a main choke, a left flank, and a right flank. It allows for choice, skill expression, and while there are some exceptions to which angle is optimal, and there are some creativity in how maps can be designed, I do think that somewhat sticking to that rule whenever you can is really important. Ultimately, if there isn't as many choices, then we have a 2 CP and Overwatch problem where everybody is miserable unless you're defending. Ultimately, Marvel Rivals suffers from a lot of dead ends, a lot of nasty chokes, and a lot of paths that just kind of lead to nowhere. Map variety is a really underrated part of keeping a map experience or keeping a game experience fresh, and ultimately I think the map designers have a lot of things to learn about what keeps a map engaging and interesting from both sides of the equation. And finally here, before I get to my competitive integrity discussion, I think that the performance of this game is just horrendous. This goes without saying. It doesn't matter what type of computer that you run. Even a supercomputer is going to have FPS issues. There's a lot of tech issues that are within the game. Visuals are bugged out. I even have issues with OBS running this game where I have to launch it as administrator, otherwise it doesn't recognize it to stream it. And this kind of goes without saying. If you're aiming to have your game to be accessible for a larger audience, which I think Rivals is, performance issues are incredibly important for you to be able to reach the demographic and the audience that you're aiming for. Finally, and this one will be a little bit shorter because I think this has already been well documented in a couple of my other videos. I have one up talking about the matchmaking conspiracy. I highly recommend checking that one out. But the competitive...
Is it actually... I don't know if it's actually real, though. I feel like it's like the same Overwatch one back in the day, 50-50 Overwatch. Winner and losers queue. Is it actually real, though? Oh, man. Do I have to actually look at this? Okay, maybe not. I'm not going to do it today, but...
Integrity is easily the second most discouraging thing about this game, where there just isn't really competitive integrity. Rank inflation is huge and a huge problem where you win more than you lose for SR. So you can climb all the way up to the higher ranks in the game, even with negative win rates. And what this means is not only are you questioning whether you actually earned the rank that you actually got or did you just grind for it, but also it really compromises the quality of the matchmaking. Now, matchmaking in first-person shooters and just games in general is really tricky. Team-based games really struggle with this because player inconsistency is a huge problem, even in a quote-unquote perfectly balanced ranked lobby. But Marvel Rivals really exacerbates this because you might have a Grandmaster player that if they were in any other honest skill curve game, they would be platinum at best. There are legitimately games where you will feel like you're playing in a platinum lobby with your teammates playing versus Celestials that are on the way up, and that unironically may be true. Playtime accounts for everything when it comes to rank in this game, not competence. There's a serious lack of meritocracy in the way that this matchmaking works, and this leads to huge inconsistencies in game quality. Ultimately, this is done for engagement optimized matchmaking, and when people say that, I don't even necessarily mean some sort of witch hunt about...
I've heard this. Some people have been throwing this thing around since like the start of Rivals. I don't even know what's real and what's
on your gameplay.
Everyone's saying it's optimized, engaged matchmaking, but like, dude, every game is trying to optimize how long you play. That's literally one of their biggest stats for like investors and people being like, how addictive is the game? Like, one of the most important stats for C-suites is when a person loads up the game, how many games do they play? How long do they stay on the game? It's one of the most important stats that they look for, because the longer you play a game or the more games you play / the longer you play it, you are more likely to buy skins and buy things because you're putting more time into it, because the consumer looks at it and goes, well, I've put 20 hours into the game this week. You know, if I was going to put 20 hours into a game, I would buy a game for $20, right? Like, you know, let's say you buy Schedule 1 or something. You didn't buy Schedule 1. Well, I buy a nice skin for $20 because I got $20, 20 hours of enjoyment out of it. So I can do that. And that's how the consumer rationalizes buying skins. And so they love to pump those numbers even higher. Every game does that. But I don't know about the matchmaking, though. The matchmaking part is a little different. But regardless, yeah. Thank you for the super chat on the YouTube side. Yeah, I agree with that. In my opinion, roles tank DPS and support in Overwatch, and the lines got blurred over the years, where in Rivals, the roles seem more definitive. I
say that. I don't even necessarily mean some sort of witch hunt about that they prioritize wins early on your gameplay.
To be fair to compare, since Rivals has been out for a year, they're trying to do something new. And is it fair to be nitpicky? Is it fair to be nitpicky about the game? I don't know. Do you think people should just shut up and enjoy things? Or do you think people should be allowed to give feedback because they want to see it better? Differences of opinion there. Some people genuinely will say, just shut the fuck up and enjoy it. Some people will say, no, you'd want criticism because it'll make things better. Both of those lines of thinkings do exist. Depends on where you sit.
done for engagement optimized matchmaking. And when people say that, I don't even necessarily mean some sort of witch hunt about that they prioritize wins early on your gameplay time, and then that you're more likely to lose the longer you play. Just simple rank inflation is engagement optimized matchmaking, where it tells you something that this is supposed to be a fair match or that you earned the rank that you are, but it's not true. It's just rewarding you for playing more and more and more. The longer time you spend in the game, the more you're likely to spend money on the game and buy skins. And that to me is not only something that turns me off from the game, but kind of disturbs me about the gaming culture as a whole. We're very slowly becoming victims of the algorithm with things that are telling lies about us and encouraging us and trying to control what we do and how we feel and how we play. And yes, that's a little bit tinfoil hat, but I think even small things like this are really, really unhealthy just because it doesn't tell the truth about what you actually are and where you actually belong. It does so at the expense of other people.
I don't care anymore. I don't normally get political. I'm going to get political for a second. People don't give a fuck about the truth anymore. Nobody gives a fuck. No one cares. Literally nobody fucking cares. The age of truth is dead. What people care about is to have their own feelings validated, or they want to see someone else suffer the way they suffered. Because they lived through it, why should they get a free ride? People want to be told they're good at things. People want to be told that they're on the right side of history. People want to be told that they are not bad people. Even if they like bad things, or even if they are shit at a video game. They don't want to be told that. They don't care. Even if it's true. And that's okay, because I don't think you should have to play a video game and be told every day you're shit. However, just because you also deserve the right to not be told you're shit at a video game every single day, does not mean that you should be allowed to say that you're good because the game has lied to you. Because it's telling you what you want to hear so that you agree with it and you look at it more favorably. You can apply that to many other things in life right now, where even if something is bad for you or bad for your neighbor or bad for people around you, it aligns with your line of thinking. And so thus you'll be like, that's fine. I like this. Until it comes for you. And people don't give a fuck if it's true or not. They just want it to agree with them. And it goes from everything as small as I like turkey but don't like ham. It goes to as large as your political beliefs.
You see, the problem is that rank inflation isn't harmless. It hurts people. It hurts the enjoyment of the game. It hurts the quality of the game. It hurts the integrity of somebody working for and reaching a higher rank. When I reached Grandmaster Season 0 with like a 58, 59, 60% win rate, when I was bragging to my friends, they all were like, oh yeah, but how many games did it take? I've got a friend who's 44% win rate in reached Grandmaster. And when I first heard that, that really took the wind out of my sails. So the excitement of reaching Grandmaster was stolen from me. So everybody has this nice, even experience of where, yeah, it doesn't feel that bad.
Nobody's special because everyone's special.
I guess but ultimately, like, what are we missing out on? The whole accomplishment of reaching a rank should mean something. And in Marvel Rivals, frankly, it just doesn't really mean much at all. Especially as a competitive player and a coach, this was just the elephant in the room that I could not ignore. The game design was something that I have hopes for and evolving as the game goes on. Maybe we'll see, maybe we won't. But ultimately, if NetEase doesn't back off of its kind of dystopian approach to matchmaking, I will not be coming back to this game seriously. Final point here, and this is more of an etc. side note, and this really ties in with that TF2 discussion we had earlier on. It really couldn't live up to its own expectations.
Why do you care if someone else reaches your rank? That's a very hard question to answer. Because it's not about I'm better than you or anything like that. But it is, in some ways, reflective of, let's say at the beginning of the season, you grind really hard and you get there, and you play against really good people, and you earned it. And then someone else gets there just by putting a bunch of time in, but they're not actually very good, but they're rewarded the same way. Are you special because you accomplished a thing that they could accomplish by just showing up a little bit more? Well, I guess that's up for interpretation. But where it will actually matter is if you queue into a game with them and you are far better than they are. Should they be in the same rank as you? Because you're significantly better? Stop comparing yourself to others? Well, hang on. If you're in a ranked matchmaking system, you want the matchmaking system to be putting you against people of the same rank as you. So if there is inflation to the where a certain point, right, everyone can get there just with playtime. You're competing with others. And so to climb, you have to be better than others and win. But if they can catch you just by playing a lot, not winning or not being better, then you are not playing with people of equal skill. You are playing with people who are equal skill or have no fucking life / play a ton, right? So it's like the quality of that game is going to be horrid compared to when you played 2 months or 2 or 3 weeks ago, because everybody else is caught up by playtime, right? So like, if the system is supposed to be competitive, then if they're much worse than you, they shouldn't be in the same lobby. You know what I mean?
For me, the way that people hyped up this game, going into this game, I ultimately knew that for some people that were more competitive.
It has nothing to do with the shiny rank, by the way. You could put the shiny rank in a closet at that point. But the shiny rank is what gave people to play, so you can't really put it in the closet.
Like myself, ultimately, I would enjoy it, but I would probably be coming back to Overwatch because a lot of the hype within the Overwatch community was more of a response to anger versus Overwatch itself and how at least it wasn't Overwatch. It honestly felt like almost a political fervor, which was a little bit disheartening to me. Ultimately, I felt like a lot of the Overwatch
time spent is going to count for skill in some regard. Map awareness counters, and at what point is mechanical skill the only difference that matters? Nobody said anything about mechanical skill. You inferred that on your own. All of those things you were talking about would result in a higher win rate if you actually had the skill improvement. But if you are climbing with a negative win rate, or you are climbing, even though if you can climb to the same rank as someone where they had to get a 55% win rate to win, and you can get there with much more time played with 44%, are you truly as good as that player who's won 55% of their games just because you put in more hours? I've spectated enough people to say no. You know? My man, if you want to play Overwatch, then just play Overwatch. God damn. How does that have anything to do with what I just said? We were talking about rank inflation. We were talking about... So wait, hang on. That's a really dangerous narrative. Just because somebody disagrees with you, or somebody has a different viewpoint from you, that must automatically just like, get the fuck out of here, and you throw shit at them. You know, remember that speech I was just giving a second ago? Rewind. That's going to apply to you very heavily. I'm talking to you when I said that. There's a reason, you know? I think he's talking to Spylo, not you. Well, if he is, that don't make no sense either, because he's going to. That's the point of the video. He is going to go play Overwatch. He just made a video talking about why he's not playing Rivals anymore. Don't shut down people you disagree with that hard like that. There's a difference with that too. Like, over something like a video game, right? Be open to that type of stuff. But it's like, what he's saying isn't wrong. It's a different in perspective. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Okay, if you are talking about the video, I apologize for going at you so hard. Second off, though, that's literally what they're doing. Like, they did that. Like, the whole point of the video is just like, hey, I'm not going to be playing Rivals anymore. Here's why, right? And they have the right to do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's the point. Like, you should still listen to these people. You should listen to people when they're like, hey, like, I don't like anything anymore. And then you can analyze what they said and be like, is their feedback valuable? That's how you grow. You know what I mean? Anyways,
Overwatch. It
let's
honestly
keep going.
felt like almost a political fervor, which was a little bit disheartening to me. Ultimately, I felt like a lot of the Overwatch community.
Sorry, let me back up a little bit.
Ultimately, I would enjoy it, but I would probably.
Go back a
It
little
really
further.
couldn't live up to its own expectations for me. The way that people hyped up this game, going into this game, I ultimately knew that for some people that were more competitively focused, like myself, ultimately I would enjoy it, but I would probably be coming back to Overwatch because a lot of the hype within the Overwatch community was more of a response to anger versus Overwatch itself and how at least it wasn't Overwatch. It honestly felt like almost a political fervor, which was a little bit disheartening.
He's not wrong.
Ultimately, I
in
felt
some
like
ways.
a lot of the Overwatch community expectations of Rivals was built on emotion and hyperbole. And ultimately, while the anger at Overwatch was deserved, I just don't think that for the competitive community within the shooters, it wasn't going to be able to live up to its own hype. And I think you see that even right now, where so much of the game it's just fallen off once people have kind of forgotten some of their anger versus Overwatch as the developers have had to earn back the trust. Oh, well, it's a conversation for a longer video. You can check out my review of Play Nice here, where I discuss a lot more of the lies that Overwatch and Activision told. Ultimately, it was saddening to me that we couldn't just compare Marvel Rivals off of its own merit, but ultimately a lot of the Overwatch comparisons weren't made in good faith and just were made from emotion, which ultimately not only compromised the quality of the comparison, but the quality of our feedback for Rivals itself. To wrap things up here, I know I'm going to make some people mad here. Ultimately, I'm trying to look at this as fair as I possibly can, and this is not a recommendation that you should not enjoy or should not play the game. This is more an explanation of why people like me, players like me, are not likely going to stick with this game moving forward. Because I'm not just speaking with me, but a lot of people within the competitive Overwatch community. Why do they move on? This is why. Maybe this is not something that Rivals should even change. Maybe the dopamine, maybe the design of supports, maybe the design of tanks, and maybe even the matchmaking is something that is baked into the game itself and is part of the reason why it's successful. I honestly don't know. I suspect that at least partly it's true. But if it's ultimately going to want to keep players like me, those things have to change. Whether they should or not, well, that's not really my call. And if you're the type of person that enjoys what Rival is currently, then you shouldn't feel guilty or stupid for enjoying it. Ultimately, a game is a game, and if a game is making people have fun, that's by far the most important thing. Yes, more important than in competitive integrity, and more important than quote-unquote good game design. Ultimately, I think it was important for me to kind of clarify my thoughts and why this game has not stuck with me, but ultimately I'm just a competitive game snob with opinions that probably don't apply to the vast majority of the player base. Regardless of your opinions on Rivals, I do want to thank them for the amount of good things that they have done. They've inspired within.
Why should Rivals cater to top 1% like Overwatch? I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're taking that, if your take from everything this man has said is that we're not gonna have a productive conversation.
Me, and I hope that they've inspired within the Overwatch development community about new things to try and new questions to be answered. Ultimately, regardless of how Rivals ages, changes, or even if it changes at all, it has been a remarkable success within the hero shooter and just the gaming genre as a whole, and I'm thankful for its existence. Not just because of the questions that it raised and the feedback that it gave to us, but ultimately just because it was a really fun game.
Good video. I always like hearing Spylo's thoughts on that type of stuff. There's some stuff I definitely disagree with in there, like on his design philosophy, on like how supports play, how tanks play. I disagree with a lot of that pretty heavily. But I'm open to the ideas in hearing what other people have to say and why they disagree with it. And you know, it genuinely might come down to the gameplay difference, right? Like how Overwatch plays versus how Rivals plays. Genuinely, they play differently. Depending on the roles, and I think that's a very good thing, because at least for myself, for years, I've kind of disliked playing tank in Overwatch more and more. I actually thought that I didn't like playing tank anymore. I thought that I had fallen off. I thought my time in the sun was done. Then Rivals came out, and I realized I actually really enjoy it. And then 66 Overwatch came out, and I went, oh shit, I do really enjoy it. I just don't enjoy where Overwatch just went with it. And I think support probably also was the same thing. But yeah, very good video. Very good video. I like hearing thoughts like this, even though it does slightly disagree with my own take of it. I think hearing that kind of stuff is really important. Okay. Cool. What time is it? We can play some fucking Minecraft tonight. Why not? I got nothing to do. Okay, now I think we can go play some hardcore Minecraft. So chat, I debated the absolute fuck out of you earlier, saying I was gonna hop off and saying I was gonna go play some hardcore Minecraft. Didn't have a thumbnail ready, forgot I had that video. So now we're gonna. So the way this is gonna work, YouTube, if you were here for this part of the stream with Rivals, appreciate you. Thank you for being here. I hope you guys enjoyed. We're gonna be playing some hardcore Minecraft. The way that works is I'm gonna end the YouTube stream. Don't run away yet. I'm going to end the YouTube stream because YouTube gets very confused when you play multiple games and stuff like that. So the way it'll work is I'm going to end the stream, and then about 2 minutes from now, 3 minutes from now, if you refresh, the YouTube stream will be back online in Minecraft. So it's not going anywhere. It's just going to go down, and then a new one will start. Twitch stream isn't going to go anywhere. You guys will be fine. Twitch is very good at being able to flip through stuff. YouTube's a little bit more difficult, though. So if you want to be here for Minecraft, hardcore Minecraft, I think we're on part 8 or something like that. Make sure... you just refresh in a couple minutes when it starts back up. It probably won't even be long. It'll probably be like 2 minutes. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow for the new Rival season. Sound good? Cool. All right. YouTube, I'll catch you in a few minutes when I get the YouTube stream started back up. See you on the other side.